Remember this, that very little is needed to make a happy life. Ladies, gentlemen, and variations thereupon, this is Modern Escapism. Hello and welcome to the final episode of Positivity Month and the final episode of Modern Escapism 2.0. My name is Oodles. Sit back, relax, unless you're driving, and enjoy the happiness. Joining me today, the happiest man in North Yorkshire is Stig.
Oh, I don't know how much more of this happiness I can do. Can we do a ranty episode next week?
Yeah. The happiest man in Northern France is Biggie.
Hello.
That's not French. And the fucking emo temptress from the depths of Hades, it's Candy.
Ugh.
And the happiest man in the North East isn't with us again this evening due to he's still got the shits. He's just had him. He's had him for this long. The man, he's lost half his body weight in poop. He's just
Completely drained.
completely drained. It's that brown water, dribbly bum,
Different man.
dribbly bum. Get well soon.
It's not a happy man.
You're not a happy
Shitting
man.
out Newcastle Brown Ale.
Oh,
no. On this episode, as usual, for the last time, actually, we'll review our week in the Nexus. Then, this patron-produced episode, we'll get into a happy cadence with two things, apparently, because there was a draw. Ooh, more to follow with that one. And then...
Stop saying it's the last time.
It's the last time. And then followed by the paywall-locked green room. But before all that, it's time for the news. Bob.
You may already know, but he doesn't, because it's time for Biggie's Breaking News.
Pump up the news, pump it up while your feet are stomping. And Biggie is pumping. Looking ahead, the party's jumping. Pump it up a little more. Get the news updates on the pod floor. See, because that's where the party's at. And you'll find out if you do that. I want a pod to say, get your news on the floor tonight. Make my
Oodles.
Yeah.
I think it's about time we took him to that place.
Yeah, that
Dropped him off and
we've
just
been
left.
talking about.
Is it a happy
Yeah.
place you've been telling me about?
Just drop him off and leave him.
When
yeah?
a van
White
pulls
walls.
up outside your house, white van, square wheels, just accept it. Come on, news goblin.
Horizon Forbidden West now has a memorial to commemorate actor Lance Reddick. Reddick, who played Silence in both this game and its predecessor, sadly passed away earlier this year, aged 60. In the latest update for the game, players have now discovered a fresh memorial situated on an island visited in the game's DLC, Burning Shores. It's an official homepage, the late actor, added by developer Guerrilla.
That's nice.
It's
That's
nice,
nice.
and he is the best character in that series, the most
you
interesting
just-
character as well.
But did you just say homepage rather than homage?
I may have. And I'm sure there's a homepage as well.
Not that it takes any seriousness away from it, but
You know the French word homage?
It's homepage.
sorry, my mistake.
Oh, fuck's sake, man. What a great fromage. For poor Lance.
Is it a homepage for
Lance
cheese?
Reddick.
Absolutely sent me.
Rip.com.
Oh god, I like it when they do that though.
Just
Like,
saying
they did it
bigger.
in,
Just saying bigger. There's high contrast mode on your laptop if you want to turn that on so you can read.
Just right.
They did very similar in Hogwarts Legacy as well. There's a couple of homages around like homepages around there for some of the actors that passed away.
Is there? I didn't find those.
I know there's one for Alan Rickman and there's one for Hagrid.
Robbie Coltrane.
Robbie Coltrane.
Oh shit! I need to find
escape
them.
me for a second. And there's something behind Hagrid's hut, and I can't remember what the Snape one is. I'm not entirely sure if there's any more in there for like other actors that passed. There's a few others that have
Lovely
passed,
that.
haven't there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's nice they did that for Lance.
Yeah, he's the best thing in those games by far. He's worth playing it just for that, just for him.
We might need to create a homepage for Gadget.
Wow. Wow. Next.
It looks like Oodles could be right with his previous prediction that the Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 2 will include Metal Gear Solid 4.
Can we get that?
To the 3 games.
Can we get that soundbite like as my ringtone, please? That I was right, please.
This has all started after
just a rumour.
Twitter user Nitroid began poking around the Metal Gear Portal website and noticed a spot of oddness with Konami's updated Metal Gear timeline. With the gist of the discovery showing that Konami's revised graphic features a number of inactive buttons for old games pointing to new pages, home pages, leading to speculation that these particular titles, Metal Gear Solid 4, Guns of the Patriots, Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker, and Metal Gear Solid 5 are being primed for a re-release as part of the Master Collection.
Oh, please give us 4.
4 being away from the PS3, being unlocked from that would be
On
huge.
something else.
It'd be huge.
Please.
Give it to Xbox, give it to PC, give it to Switch, give it to anything that can take it. Just get it unlocked from that PS3. There's some PS3 features that are in that game that they can just completely get rid of because they don't make any difference to the game. They're just little fancy things like wiggling the DualShock 3 to change the camo and stuff. You can do that nowadays with just a button press. You know what I mean? There's ways of getting around
if it's
it.
on like a PS5, you could just do it
Yeah.
with the big middle button, couldn't you?
There's just ways to get around all that stuff that was stopping it. I mean, it was produced on that cell architecture of that PS3. PS3 was a fucking shite console, guys. Come on, let's be real. Let's be fucking real.
Yeah.
Awful console. But yeah, it's great, and it's just I haven't played Guns of the Patriots for about 15 years.
No, I
I've
haven't
not played
either.
since it came out. I bought it, borrowed my brother's PS3, finished it, sold it because I didn't have a PS3. I just like
I rented a
not been able to play it
PS3.
since.
I rented it just to
Yeah.
play that game. Took it back.
Yeah.
I hate that
yeah,
console.
and I've not had a chance to play it.
Yeah, it's awful. It
Not played Peace Walker either.
Oh, mate, it's good. Really good, really good. That you can play that on Xbox right now, though. To be honest, mate, and PC.
I've got it on my Vita, I think.
Yeah, really good. Can't wait for that. Next,
Xbox's Phil Spencer has pretty much confirmed that Elder Scrolls 6 is still 5+ years away. The Xbox boss is also still being very careful about mentioning which platforms the Skyrim sequel is planned for, so it's difficult for us right now to nail down. That
because it's
means
coming to
still
everything
on
else.
the PlayStation.
Nah, it's coming to everything else.
Yeah.
There'll have been contracts signed years ago.
And it's
Thingy
been
was-
claimed.
Starfield was meant to be on the PlayStation, wasn't it? And they pulled it.
Nah,
Yeah, that was
still-
after the deal was signed.
After the
I
deal
don't
was
know
signed.
what-
I reckon this has been in development for years now, and I reckon it'll come out on other things.
And if it
Anyway.
takes that long, potentially it may even skip this current generation of consoles entirely. It could be on the next.
It will. Of course it will. I mean,
As long
They're
as
gonna-
it takes.
they're going to re-release Skyrim again anyway, so that'll keep you going for a bit, Candy.
Yeah, I've got way more to get on with. But it surprises me that people are surprised that it's going to take this long.
Why wouldn't
Because
it?
it's exactly, why wouldn't it? That is the constant cycle. It's Fallout, then it's Elder
Yeah.
Scrolls, then it's Fallout. There's normally a 3 to 5 year gap, and now you've got Starfield in between.
And yeah, this is the one in between. So they've added another one.
Yeah,
God,
so yeah,
but why
it's
wouldn't
gonna
it take that fucking long? Why would these people? I've seen some comments about it, and these people are fucking delusional.
Yeah.
Just knock it out. It only takes 2 years to make a game. Fuck off.
Well, they knocked Fallout 76 out, and look what happened. So just wait. It's fine. There's loads of stuff to play.
Yeah, people don't
In the
deserve it if
meantime.
they're moaning that it's going to take too long. Let it take 10, 15 years.
I will say the only reason I want it to be out a little bit sooner is just so Skyrim Grandma gets to see it and play it. because she's knocking on. She's 90s.
Who the fuck's Skyrim Grandma?
Skyrim Grandma. She's a YouTube sensation. She's a little old dear.
Oh, you mentioned that before, didn't you?
Yeah, little gorgeous old lady. Plays Skyrim on YouTube. She's actually going to be in the new game. They face mapped her and everything. But she's 95, I think. So at least just please get it out before.
Well,
she
here we
pops
go.
box.
By the time it comes
Then
out,
you
you
can
can
kill
be
her.
the Skyrim Grandma.
I could be. I'm not far off anyway.
That's what I'm saying. So you could take the mantle as Skyrim Grandma.
Go from Skyrim Cougar to Skyrim
2077
Grandma.
when it's coming out.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine with me. I'm ready.
We'll be injecting it into Baccarat's necks. Next.
Speaking of Sony, spent a fortune getting the assortment of sports stars to explain Final Fantasy XVI. They apparently have a trailer out at the moment, for example, which will have names you may or may not be familiar with, including San Francisco 49ers tight end George Kittle. He's
Love him.
there with a dual sense in his hand, bless him. And the sections are intertwined with Alessio Russo, former Manchester United footballer.
Yep, know him.
Other appearances include Canadian left back Alphonso Davis, college
Know him.
basketball player Angel Reese,
Yep.
French F1 driver Pierre Gasly.
Don't know that.
This one's for you, Stiggy. WWE superstar Xavier Woods,
I know him. Yeah. Plays trumpets,
Arsenal
didn't he?
attacker Gabriel
Yeah.
Martinelli, and American gymnast Suni Lee.
There are only two of them. I didn't know.
Bit of a bizarre choice of faces. to
No,
try
mate,
and
they're all
promote.
fucking superstars in the field. Don't be daft.
An
That's
action
not bizarre
RPG.
at all. It's marketing, isn't it? They always get stupid people to do stuff like that. Who did they do? What was it? Another wrestler. It was what's his name? Can't see me.
John Cena.
John Cena. He was doing that other game, wasn't he, for a long time? What game was it that he loved?
Yeah, but you wouldn't be able to see it,
Love.
right?
No, he did a full ton of marketing for this game that he loved, and it just didn't seem like a game that he would love. Can't remember what it was. It was a while back, and
Do you remember that
that were
God
cool.
of War Ragnarok one as well? It was Ben Stiller.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
right,
it's
yeah.
like actors doing it.
Yeah.
Ben Stiller, John Travolta, and
yeah.
someone
It
else.
was John Travolta, weren't it?
They're at like a intervention meeting.
AA
weren't
meeting,
they?
yeah.
Yeah.
I like
Xavier
it.
Woods though he's
He's a massive gamer, isn't he?
massive.
Terry
into gaming.
Crews
he
in
run-
that as well. Was it Terry Crews?
Yes.
I think so.
Maybe, yeah.
And his
Yeah,
son
he
or
runs
something.
like up, down, down, which is like a. It was originally started by him as a gaming channel, and because it's so successful, like the WWE took it on. So
Well,
it's their,
Xavier
like,
Woods
official
has been
gaming
seen
channel.
on wrestling playing Dragon Quest music and Final Fantasy music on his trumpets, him and his mates.
Mhm.
So I know that. So,
Yeah, he's always coming out dressed as characters.
yeah, he's great. I think it's good. And again, it shows them that they're trying to make this game more mainstream. More on that later.
Ooh.
Next.
E3 2024 and 2025 are cancelled, according to the Los Angeles Tourism Department.
What?
As
I
spotted
didn't know
by
it was still going.
Receptra, the Entertainment Software Association, which owns E3, had initially booked the Los Angeles Convention Center for the weeks beginning 11th of June 2024 and 3rd of June 2025. Dates were shared as part of the Los Angeles City Tourism Department report last October. However, in a new report dated earlier this month, the LA City Tourism Department included a footnote indicating that they'd been cancelled. E3 is now like bringing a defibrillator to a
I thought it
crematorium,
were
isn't
dead
it?
anyway.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's dead as fuck.
It's-
I thought it was gone.
If this year's cancellation didn't do it, like that's just they've obviously like booked ahead and then just nah. I mean,
Oof.
why would you?
Fuck that.
Like, as fun as it was for fans and stuff, for companies, why spend all that money for something you can just lob online
Yeah.
and get everyone to?
The thing is, right, I like a convention. I enjoy them, but I wouldn't go to a huge one like that because that seems like something you wouldn't get to access stuff. I like the indie ones. I like Rezzed and I like Gamescom. And, you know, I know Gamescom's quite big now, isn't it, actually? But the ones where you actually do get hands-on stuff. But I've seen, like vlogs of being at E3 and stuff. No one can do anything. They all just stand out in the entrance in cosplay.
Yeah, I mean, you do. You just so it's on for about 3-4 days. The first couple of days, all the queues for the big stuff are like 2-3 hours. Sometimes
Oh, you've been,
just
haven't
can't-
you?
Yeah, sometimes you just can't get it at
Weird.
all. Like I remember, until the last day, you just could not get on Final Fantasy VII. The last
That's what
couple of
I'm saying.
days, you're queuing for about 45 minutes to an hour, but it's all the kind of there's loads of fan stuff. And all the indie games and stuff, you can just walk up and start playing. You can start talking to developers.
That's what I want to do.
Yeah, but they're not the ones that are paying these huge amounts of money. It's like it's Bethesda, it's Fortnite, they're paying multi millions.
Yeah,
and it just takes hours to play on anything. And to be fair, like before, it was just it was media only. So I don't think the queues are quite as much as they are. But the way they did it in 2019 was it was media until 1-2 o'clock in the afternoon, and then they let the sort of hoi polloi in.
I know the press hate that the public can go in, don't they?
The press hated it. The press hated it, and the public wanted more of a convention, so it didn't really work out for either of them, which is the problem they're facing now. But yeah, it seems like Gamescom is taking on the mantle, and obviously we've got Jeff Fest as well in the.
I just like the directs we get all year round. I mean, Jeff Fest were a bit.
Jeff Fest was shit this year, but
yeah,
at least he's taking it on, isn't he?
He's a good man. I know he's got his intentions are in the right place. Money, basically. I don't hate him, but I don't know. He ain't got that je ne sais quoi. You know what I mean about him? He's not. He doesn't ooze. He's no like when Reggie used to come out. Oh my god, what a moment there used to be. Even chuffing your boyfriend when he comes out, he's got more charisma.
You can't deny his charisma. That's up to 100.
You know what I mean? I don't know. There's something about Jeff Keighley. He's a bit like. Hi, I'm middle management corporate. It's like, fuck off, mate. I want to speak to Reggie.
Especially when he does like his little segues into, and if you'll like that, you'll love 2-for-1 tacos.
Yeah.
Fuck off, mate. I know he's tight. He's that blue sky management bollocks that I get fucking thrown in my face all the time. Everyone is equal. You're not. Not everyone's equal. Next.
Well, speaking of directs, there's been a Nintendo one. And this has been thrown into the news section.
Was good.
I don't I don't follow Nintendo. So I don't know if anyone wants
because you've got no soul.
I've got some that have been mentioned here. So Mario RPG.
Yeah,
huge.
Finally.
That's pretty huge. I've seen like loads of reaction videos to that.
I saw no mention of Square Enix. Well, Square made it originally. I wonder if they've just bought the rights from them.
I don't know, but I was watching these guys, and they're like, "Oh, finally, we're getting Mario RPG on like you know the Nintendo Online kind of thing. You know where they release the old games, and then it switches to modern graphics. And it's like, oh my god, it's a remake!
It looks great. It's great to see these squished down Mario because it was good back then as well.
It's kept the same style, hasn't it?
Yeah, like they've got no necks and they're just squished. I think it's a great game. I mean, if you've not played that or like Paper Mario on N64 or any of the Paper Marios or the ones, the Mario and Luigi games, Superstar Sagas and stuff like that, they're fantastic. They are turn-based, active time battle stuff, but they're a bit more switched on. You've got to concentrate when you're playing them. You can't just tap A, and they're great games and they're just fun. It's great first RPG for some people. I think you will genuinely like it. If I haven't played Super Mario RPG since I was like 10, but I remember it being funny. So
I imagine like with like modern consoles, modern graphics, and that they can add a few more things into it as well. There's cutscenes and stuff in there, isn't there? And
and the battle system, which is the biggest chunk of the game, is like you press A to attack them, and then you've got like little timings, and you can get like better attacks and stuff like. There's more to it. There's a bit more game to it.
If there's more to stuff, I generally don't mind.
Yeah, I think you'll like it.
But it's like
I think you'll like it.
I absolutely loved Origami King. I know that's got a different type of
battle system.
Yeah, but
I think
everything else around that game just made it.
Yeah, I think everyone should give Super Mario RPG a bash, especially now it's in crisp HD. Do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
This one, though. Next one.
Super Mario Bros. Wonder.
Now we're talking. Talking.
A new 2.5D Mario. Looks absolutely insane. It looks like what happens to Mario when he actually eats the mushrooms. Like, now we get to play as Mario, as what Mario experiences when he eats those mushrooms.
It's like there's that bit when he takes that water flower and he's like on an acid trip with the pipes going up and down. And stuff. It's like fucking this man knows. This man knows.
Things are moving. There's colours everywhere. The music changes. The music is stunning.
I've had evenings like that game. I'm telling you.
yeah, like that. They haven't released a. Obviously, we've only had one proper AAA Mario on the Switch, which is Odyssey, and they've released a few kind of remakes and remasters and upgrades. And so they had Super Mario Maker 2, which is it? Would you class that as AAA? I don't know. It's not.
It's the one that they always put on sale.
It's a big game and stuff.
I bought it for £20.
In my mind, I'll kind of these days I see the big 3D epic adventure ones as their temple. So it's just nice to get a new Mario,
and it's not called New Super Mario something. It's just
it's not a remake.
Super Mario Brothers Wonder.
Yeah, it's a new game. That's the best thing about it. Isn't just
the art style's beautiful. The flowers are chatting to you as well.
Virgin, yeah.
I think it looks.
And it's coming out this year.
It's coming out this year.
Both of them are coming out this year as well.
The Switch is not dead. The Switch is not dead. It's got some life left.
Speaking of which, next, Dragon Quest Monsters.
So I didn't watch this direct live because I was at work, like most of the population. And you guys told me this. I thought you were kidding.
No.
Then I watched
there's a few games in there that like just oodles.
Yeah, I watched the trailer and I was like, oh, this looks amazing. And then right at the very end, Erdrick popped up. You guys don't know who that is. But I was like, oh my God, he's here. It's like such a big moment. It's like, oh God. If you've not played the Monsters games, they're Pokemon before Pokemon. You know what I mean? They started it. People forget this. It's just, all the amazing Dragon Quest created Akira Toriyama monsters you can catch and train and stuff like that. Like I don't care what anyone says. You cannot deny the charm of the monsters on Dragon Quest. You've all seen them. They're all great. They've all got pun names as well.
Oh yeah,
some of them are ridiculous though.
I love them. I love them all. It's going to be amazing.
Huge, like griffin lion things, and then they've got a face where the tongue's just like.
Yeah. Oh, no, they've got like a kebab. With like some chili peppers on them and stuff like that. If you like Pokemon and Dragon Ball Z style art, you're gonna love it.
Well, if you like Pokemon, Detective Pikachu Returns is next.
I don't know if that's a Pokemon type game though, is it? It's more like a Professor Layton in it or something like that.
Yeah, it's still Pokemon though, isn't it?
I've never played them, but I've heard Detective Pikachu were good. Like a nice little 10-hour adventure. Never played them though.
What's that film?
Speaking of,
it got turned into a film.
Oh, I didn't realise it was a game in the first place.
Yeah. There was a game on Switch, wasn't there?
Well, shit me. I did not know.
I think so.
It might have been before that.
Maybe on 3DS. I'm not sure. I feel like it came out at the same time as like Let's Go Eevee.
3DS. Yeah.
3DS. Yeah, and apparently they're good though. So who knows? If you like a narrative game, I'm sure it'll be just a narrative game again, with a little bit of interaction and stuff like that. But I like his how he talks. He's like Danny DeVito or something. Cool. I like him.
Metal Gear Solid Volume 1 collection was announced.
Now, let me just state. If you've got any other console, don't buy it on your Switch. That's all I'm saying. Trust me, that will be the worst place to play these games because of the control scheme, unless you've got a pro controller like I have. But I can't imagine playing Guns of the Patriots, Sons of the Patriots, and Snake Eater with Joy-Cons. That just sounds like hell.
Yeah, but obviously I'm just going to push ahead here, Biggie, on this one, but they're releasing the Arkham trilogy on there. I'm trying to play them with the Joy-Cons as well.
No way.
Horrendous.
That sounds disgusting. Fuck that.
Arkham Knight is going to run like absolute shite on a Switch.
Why suddenly announced that? That's so old. We're not old.
I think it's a flex to say, look, we can play PS4 games on here.
That's the Switch, innit? They come away and go, oh, by the way, we figured out how to get these games on here.
Yeah. It's a little flex.
Yeah.
Too late. You can't even get Arkham Knight to run on PC.
Oh, it does now.
Oh, does it?
To start with. Yeah, it just did to start with, but yeah, it's that one of those typical like Switch, like The Witcher in it. It's just like, oh yeah, we got this to run on it.
But why
now.
would you? Yeah, it's crazy, man. Yeah, but Metal
finally
Gear
in the
Collection, don't get it on Switch. Just warning you all.
Finally in that list is Princess Peach, so I guess that's a female version of Mario type game.
They had a Christmas Peach game, didn't they? About 10 years ago. That was supposed to be good.
I don't know. I didn't know if there was one. I thought this might have been.
This is not the first Princess Peach game.
It's nice to get one though. Like you play a lot of the other characters, and you only ever kind of play as Peach mainly, like as a.
Got another game where you got to play as a female antagonist.
Yeah, boo. Literally unplayable.
All those people that moaned about Peach being a girl boss in the film. It's like,
I'm sorry, but Princess Peach is on an all-time high lately, especially with that song.
She's great in the movie.
Exactly.
Yeah.
She's massive. She's like, you were people in playgrounds when I drop my kids off. They still sing that song every day. Kids are singing that song. She is just as big as Mario now, and it's great to see.
Yeah.
I don't like the lack of Luigi love lately, though. Like, I bring back the year of Luigi because he's my boy. People aren't talking about Luigi enough anymore, and I need him back. But we're getting a Luigi game, aren't we? We're getting Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon.
I didn't know if that was there was loads of other stuff. There's loads of other stuff on there. A lot of Oodles games as well, as I call them.
What do you mean by that? Really high quality games?
Just like JRPGs and like little anime figures with text boxes and stuff and little sprites.
It's great. It's great shit.
Yeah.
Good shit. Love it. Great direct. Best one, I think, this summer.
It's a good one. It's very good. Like, even though I won't play everything on there, I thought they had like enough there to make it worthwhile.
For me, it's a toss-up between like the Xbox One, including the Starfield one, because by the end I enjoyed it, and that Nintendo Direct one. They're best two. Absolutely smashed it this year, them two guys. Any more on that?
Nope, moving on to the world of film and TV.
Okay.
Sally Hawkins will not return for Paddington 3. Emily Mortimer instead will take over the role. And Antonio
great,
Banderas has signed up to also star.
Emily Mortimer's great, but come on. It's sad.
Lost the director, lost Sally Hawkins.
It's not in a good trajectory, this, is it?
Oh dear.
Next, should be telling me that Ben Wishaw's not going to be the voice of Paddington.
Yeah, instead...
Yeah, Paddington pulls out, it's done.
Just what fans have asked for, we've now got Ryan Reynolds to voice Paddington.
Chris Pratt on backup.
Yeah, Chris Pratt.
It's just disappointing. I'm sure it's down to scheduling conflicts, but...
Yeah, but how are they going to follow up one of the best films of all time?
Probably should have just left it as 2.
Yeah.
Or until everyone was available.
Yeah, just wait a year.
Yeah. Next.
Guillermo del Toro says he only wants to do animation in the future. He told the Annecy audience that there are a couple of more live-action movies I want to do, but not many. And he added after that, I only want to do animation. That's the plan. I believe you can make an adult fantasy drama with stop motion and move people emotionally. I think stop motion could be intravenous. It can go straight into your emotions in a way that no other medium can.
I agree with him.
His art style completely fits stop motion. That Pinocchio that he did was incredible, but if you see his drawings and everything, it's just the way that stop motion kind of moves. It almost complements his art, and he's the biggest like crafter as well. He loves his painting his models and everything, so it's no surprise that he's really excited for doing that, and I'm all for it.
Yeah, I think as well.
I like his creature movies as well, though. When he pulls that off, they're incredible.
You'll still get that.
He'll do it. He'll just produce them and stuff.
I wonder if, I know time-wise it probably takes a long time, especially stop motion. But I wonder if just like the budgets to get to do a story in animation, and it's just getting studios to sign off on stuff and getting the budget to do a story he wants to is probably a lot cheaper and easier in animation. And he knows he's got an audience.
You hear what he were
regardless.
doing? He were doing just before pandemic hit, 2020-ish. He was just about in talks with the producers and creators of Attack on Titan to make his own anime with them, which would have been a fucking match made in heaven.
Oh my god, can you imagine that? That would have been incredible. Please let that happen.
Like a Pacific Rim plus Attack on Titan, all that verboseness, all that grandeur with a couple of minds from worlds apart, just creating the ultimate anime spectacle. It'd have been incredible.
Let's hope that still happens.
Fucking pandemic got in way. Goddamn pandemic. Next.
Matthew McShwaddy was once in the running to play Joel in HBO's TV adaptation of The Last of Us.
All right.
Rumours that McConaughey, along with Mahershala Ali, were both in talks for the part were discussed by Josh Horowitz on his Happy Sad
I'd love to see
podcast.
I'd love to see Mahershala Ali do that. That man's
wouldn't, just because I couldn't be dealing with the internet.
Oh, fuck them! I don't listen to them.
I mean, he's incredible.
His piercing face. He could stare down a group of cordyceps fucking creatures, and they'd just back off. That man's got presence. Oh,
Pedro was great though.
Yeah.
Pedro just has the look and the feel of that character.
Papa Pedro were great.
Yeah.
He was always apparently on the list, but they thought that maybe scheduling could have been a problem with the hit show.
He's on a fucking career high at the moment, isn't he? Pedro Pascal, he is.
He can do no wrong.
That man at the moment. He will. It'll happen. Happens to everybody. Next.
Paul Thomas Anderson's next movie will reportedly be developed at Warner Brothers. The cast is rumoured to include Leonardo DiCaprio, Joaquin Phoenix, Viggo Mortensen, and Regina Hall.
Oh dear! Ooh.
I bet that's going to be. I have no idea other than a Warner Brothers budget, Anderson, and that cast. So I'm expecting
PTA
it
films.
to be
Come on, it's going to be
amazing.
It's going to be. It's good. That's got Oscar written all over it.
Yeah.
Yeah, all for that.
Yeah, definitely. You big fans, you two? You two are quiet about PTA.
Yeah, I think I was just trying to think about has Joaquin Phoenix and Leo DiCaprio been Joaquin Phoenix and Leo been in a film before?
Have Joaquin and DiCaprio been in a film together before? I don't think they have.
I don't think they have.
So. No,
they have. They're very similar style. Well, Joaquin's a bit more method, isn't he?
I'm not sure that. I know he gets method, but I think Leo.
He's not hyper method. He's not Daniel Day-Lewis method, where you don't see him for 2 years because he's digging oil.
I think Leo is quite method himself, isn't he? So
Leo's a bit method, but he's nowhere near. There's no Christian Bale or. Do you know what I mean?
God, no.
It's not at certain levels, but Joaquin can be quite method, can't he? He goes a bit crazy.
I think
that would be a film I'd love to just watch. Them creating it, watching the artistry, the method of those method actors just not talking to each other after a take because they're staying in character and stuff. I love all that shit. It's not healthy. It's really not healthy. It's terrible for mental health and stuff like that. But when they're walking away with a fucking Oscar or a Biggie, it's a great thing, isn't it? It's worth it.
Biggie and Oscar are millions and millions of dollars.
Yeah,
it's a little bit more difficult to feel sorry for them.
Exactly. I'm a method actor. I'm not annoying in real life. Well. Thanks for vote of confidence, guys.
Next.
TV show Secret Invasion Marvel is facing a backlash from artists and fans over AI-generated opening sequence for the new show.
Can you imagine being angry at something like this?
Well, the executive producer argued that the use of the AI fitted into the show's themes.
I think it's silly.
Bad taste. I think it's bad taste.
It's
literally writers striking right now because of their worry about the studios using AI, and they've literally gone and created a whole opening sequence with AI and not paid proper digital artists to put this together, and it looks like dog shit.
It looks like shit.
It's really dodgy grounds as well in terms of just despite not paying digital artists, which is a worry in itself, it's really dodgy ground in terms of copyright because the images are all taken from other people's artwork and it kind of mashes it all together. So it's not an image that can be copyrighted, but at the same time, it's stealing art from other people. So
I think they should. If you're a good artist, they won't need AI. Prove the AI wrong, guys.
That's not the problem. They are good enough. It's the problem is that studios are trying to cut corners.
They don't want to pay them
by not paying artists for their actual work, and and they try to blow it off as some kind of I get the reasoning, but
I get the reasoning, money.
Yeah, but no, not the reason, the excuse. The excuse does kind of fit with the show, but still, no, don't do that.
I don't think it does fit with the show. There's nothing about AI in that show.
No, it's about things pretending to be what they're not in it.
You know,
That image,
yeah.
so that's the point.
Invasion of the body
I agree with
snatchers.
you.
Yeah, now you've shed some light on it. Yeah, it's a bit shit that they just don't want to pay someone that's really good. Because every single, and I'm sorry, someone could probably send me something, prove me wrong. Every single AI generated piece of art is never better than a human doing it. It's never better than a fucking dog doing it with a brush in its mouth. Because there's emotion in art that a computer cannot recreate. It just cannot.
Yet.
Yeah, don't be saying that. No, the singularity hasn't hit yet. I mean, the fucking second it does, we're turning that shit off.
I was trying to create an AI image for our Patreon pod to go with like the fact that the quiz was an AI quiz.
Oh yeah,
I sent Candy a few like that I tried to do, and like just
it's just horrendous, isn't it?
Yes.
It's absolutely horrendous. You put like a group, it's like 4 men and a woman with orange hair doing a quiz, getting drunk, and like they did Candy dirty big time. One guy has no eyes.
This is what I'm saying. There's no emotion to it, and I think the problem is, and the fans should be saying, I mean, vote with your fucking wallets. Don't watch it.
I did see
That's
a
how
good
I see
meme
it.
though. I did see a good meme to do with AI art. It's somebody saying, AI art, it can't do hands. You can always tell how their hands are shit. Somebody else saying, yeah, but can artists draw hands either? Nope. Hands are fucking horrible.
This is what I said. I don't think any human on this planet can draw a horse well. The second you can draw a horse well, you've beat the machine. Can you draw a horse well, Candy?
I haven't tried in a while. Probably not, no.
They're a nightmare. I mean, a side view, a silhouette of a horse with its legs. Nobody can do it.
I've got spindly legs.
Nobody can draw horses. It's impossible. Listener, please write in and send it to our P.O. box. Your horses. I don't think anyone can do it. I think it's impossible. Next.
Finally, to the weird world web. You already know this story, but I'm going to mention it anyway. Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk dead serious about a cage fight, says UFC boss. Dana White, president of the Ultimate Fighting Championship, claims to have spoken with both the Twitter and the Meta chief executives about their willingness to battle each other. The billionaires indicated they're up for it for their respective social media platforms this week. So which side are you taking?
It's not going to happen.
I hope they all lose.
I mean, Zuckerberg actually has Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu training and is a ranked belt in that. So
and he's in
He's
shape.
an android, isn't he?
And he won he's an android, which obviously helps. He's got that android strength.
Yep.
But he actually won a competition this year.
And Elon Musk looks like a thumb.
So yeah, if it happens, then
He's
Zuckerberg's going to absolutely kill him.
I think it'll be a one-punch KO. It'll just be.
It won't happen.
Yeah, but how good
It's never going to happen.
To see?
It's false publicity. I mean, actual cage fighters and actual boxers draw up hype for fights that never end up happening. This is not going to work.
I saw a clip of Eddie Hearn. He's like, "Oh, I've seen it." It's like, if you think like it's silly, if you think that I'm gonna,
Sorry, listener, you won't know that, but Stig's maid just turned up. I passed him a beer.
Housemate just came and gave me a beer.
Yeah.
He said, if you think that I want to promote 2 billionaires fighting each other in a cage, you're dead on. It's like, come to me, I'll promote it. I'll make it even richer. It's like.
So for a bit of fun, who would you guys like to see in a title fight?
Dead or alive? Or both?
It's up to you.
Well, alive. Go alive.
Kojima versus Todd Howard?
No, because
they're both so weak.
They're both weak men. That'd be crap.
Innocent
They'd
men.
both fold like deck chairs.
I'd have Jeremy Clarkson versus Piers Morgan.
Oh, yeah.
It's a good one, isn't it?
I think Clarkson would kick his ass.
Do you think?
Absolutely kick. Yes, he's kicking
massive.
his fucking ass.
Yeah, he is massive, isn't he?
6 foot, isn't he?
He's a beast. He'd kick his fucking
Morgan's
ass.
a right weasel.
Yeah, he is. I'd like to see John Prescott versus Boris Johnson. That'd be fantastic. But Prescott's got a fucking hook on him, hasn't he? Well,
Well, he did once, didn't he?
Yeah.
Someone that egged him.
Hook on him. Boris Johnson's got a fucking foul tackle on him. Not when he knocked that Chinese kid out.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
Rugby tackle. Oh, in that England football game.
Yeah. So they're both slayers. I reckon that'd be the ultimate death match of the buffoons. It'd be great, but no politics, guys. Please, come on.
Trying to think of someone like in the world of celebrity.
It's tough, innit? It's tough. You could have asked us before the show. Who would you want to see?
Elton John versus Liam Gallagher.
There you go. Elton John would win. Elton John would win.
I was just about to say Liam versus Noel.
I'm telling you now, Elton John's a firecracker. He'd beat him.
I would be afraid to put anyone against Elton John.
He's an animal. You've seen Tantrums and Tiaras. God, that man. He'll throw a grand piano at your face.
What an entrance he'd have, though.
Oh, he'd destroy. Gandhi versus I don't know. Bill Gates. Gandhi versus Bill Gates, please. That's what I'm going for.
The Pope versus
the Pope versus the other Pope.
The devil.
No, the Dalai Lama.
Oh, yes, now we're talking. The Dalai Lama, actual Buddhist Shaolin master.
Versus the Pope.
Versus the Pope. Oh, I don't know, actually. That's a solid one, that. Yeah, the Pope could be ripped
Impaled
on
on a
rope.
pointy hat.
What if he takes his Pope robe off and he's like...
He's stacked.
He's like Boagrius from Troy.
He's got a muscly Jesus on his tattooed on his back.
Yeah,
God,
and then Dalai Lama just like
chest.
Dalai Lama's like just stood there being stoic, and as soon as it comes at him, and he's like the wind is. Oh God, that'd be incredible. We're borderline getting offensive now, though. That's the problem.
Well, you can end it.
We
there,
believe in
Phil.
religious equality, guys. You do what you want to do.
As long as you have a cage fight.
As long as you do it in the octagon. Once and for all, we can find out which is the best. Christianity.
Yeah, put all the religious leaders in one ring, and they can find out who is the best.
Which is the best book, the Bible or the Quran? Find out next week.
The religious rumble.
Oh, Gadget's squirming. Gadget is squirming during this edit. He was going, no!
It was just from the pod title, though.
Oh, God. Yeah, let's go! Sponsored by Free to Bet. Come on, let's go! Oh, wow. We need to be cancelled. And we've
review
just
some
been
shit?
cancelled. Next. Oh, that's it.
That's it.
Whew, God, we've just... we've gone on some kind of podcast list now, haven't we? Oh, we're up there with Joe Rogan now, aren't we? Bad things. It's time for the Nexus anyway. What we've been doing this week, Candy, what you've been doing on this hot week?
Sweating, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah. Actually, not a whole lot, so I'll just go through my one thing very, very briefly, because it's not our usual forte, but I went to see the musical version of The Lion King, which
In
is...
the heat.
Ooh.
In the heat. If you like the...
So it was like you
theatre-
was actually in Africa.
Oh my God. It was a scorcher. That said, absolutely incredible. The way they do the costumes, because it's not people
not
in
real
animal
animals.
suits. It's not real animals. Neither is it people wearing animal suits. Exactly. It's kind of sort of basically like puppeteering almost, but
Okay.
really incredible. The music's great. You already know what the music is. Story,
Elton
more
John
or less
stuff.
the same. Yeah, but it's just if you get the chance to go see it with the family, absolutely incredible. You
I
can't
saw
beat
it
I'll
about
take my
15 years
daughter
ago,
to that
mate.
window.
Yeah, really
It's like
good.
years ago.
And
It was
sit
great.
if you can sit on an aisle seat. You'll find out why.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
Mm.
I know what you mean. Oh, it's a great play. I mean, a lot of these are good. I mean, Tim Rice did the music as well with Elton John, didn't he? And
Yep.
he knows how to write a fucking song. Come
Apparently he does.
The Aladdin one's meant to be really good as well.
on.
isn't it?
Yeah. It's supposed to be, yeah. Come on, it's an easy thing to do. Like, I've seen Cats in the musical, in the theatre as well, and Cats were fucking nowhere near as good as this, and everyone loved Cats.
Mm.
I thought Cats were shit.
Cats is shit.
I've only ever heard people say the Cats is shit, so why is it so popular?
I don't know.
There's a lot of Andrew Lloyd Webber ones that are fucking wank. Starlight Express is shit as well.
Yeah. You can't
None
be
of the fact- none of them make
Jesus
sense.
Christ Superstar's great. Fucking Phantom of the Opera's great.
Yeah, I've
You know
seen
what I mean?
that. And the sequel.
There's Joseph Technical Dreamcoat's great, but Starlight Express is bobbins. It's a train.
Yeah.
They're all on rollerblades.
And they fucking fall over half the time as well, the one I
And
saw.
Cats is terrible. I'd love to have seen that Spider-Man musical that they did when Spider-Man kept dying.
Yeah. Yeah.
That'd have been fun.
There's meant to be a Back to the Future one's meant to be really good.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
And the Groundhog Day one is meant to be really
Yes.
good as well.
The Matilda
Well,
one's good as well, isn't it?
Yeah, the Matilda one's the one they turned into a film.
Yeah.
Tim
yeah.
Minchin did it, didn't he?
I don't know.
Yeah. He created it and did the
There's
music.
some
for it,
great
and
one.
then-
It's the only reason I go to London to watch musicals.
Yeah.
But so it's Lion King. So because the Lion King, I would love to go see it, but I'm just kind of the one thing that I did put me off was I kind of know the story and the songs and
Oh, it's the same.
It is, yeah.
well, I guess in like the whole stage presentation.
There's some
and
different songs in it though that you don't know. They did when I went anyway.
yeah, there is.
they
Yeah,
added a
there is
few.
one or two. Yeah.
And they
It's-
wear like main masks, don't they, rather than costumes. They're not like crawling on all fours and stuff.
Yeah, I kind of don't.
It's like African. They're like African.
Does
heritage
Nala still
stuff.
give Sumba fuck me eyes?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, I kind of don't want to give away too much about the costumes, but it's almost as if you have the human actor and the
Yes.
animal
That's it.
playing at the
It's
same time.
It's surprising, isn't it?
Yeah,
How the
it's
because
very
you,
good.
you just forget.
Yeah.
You just it's good. It's good.
So did you see it in London and I was at touring?
No, it's in Bristol at the moment. I think it's touring.
Oh,
So if it
touring,
comes,
right.
It's rare that the tour that big ones like
Yeah.
that.
Tend to get ones at tour and end up at Sunderland Empire, so it's
Yeah,
not too far
yeah.
to go.
It's I loved it when I saw it. I mean, off the top of my head, I've seen at least 20, 25 musicals in theatre. I love them. I adore them. I fucking think it's fantastic. And problem is I've seen more shit ones than good ones.
yeah.
Like my favourite one I've ever seen was Wicked. Wicked was incredible.
I would love to see
I
Wicked.
saw
I
it
heard
with
that was-
Adina Menzel as well. The OG.
Yeah.
She's like the legend. She's the Let It Go woman, isn't she?
Yeah, I'd love to see
God,
Wicked, and
that was-
I'd love
Wicked
to
was
see.
so good.
I'd love. It's not a musical, but I'd love to see The Woman in Black as well. I'd love to see that live.
That's a play
Apparently
though,
it's
isn't it? It's
fucking
just
terrifying.
It's
yeah,
just a
yeah, it's not a
scary
musical.
play.
Yeah,
Wicked's coming to Sunderland Empire.
Mate,
Fucking
you need to
hell.
go see Wicked. Fucking mind blowing.
Aladdin is as well.
Ooh.
Kids might like that. Kids might like Wicked.
Yeah, they will. They will. Oh, they'll adore it. When I went to see Wicked, my little brother was a little kid, and he loved it. Oh, it's Wicked so good. The songs in that bops, mate. The absolute bops. Oh,
Make it into a film, aren't they? It's coming out.
don't know, but I'll watch the shit out of it.
Yeah, it's coming out next year, I think.
Yeah, bring it on. Bring it on. I saw Billy Elliot in theatres as well. I've seen loads, absolutely loads. Full Monty. There's no dicks in it.
oh,
I'm going to see Hamilton soon.
See,
I'm seeing
I could see
Hamilton
that.
next year.
In 2
I've
months'
got-
time.
I was going to see that. I always wanted to go see the what was it? The Baz Luhrmann's Romeo and Juliet. That'd have been
That's
insane.
incredible.
Yeah,
I went to go see a Romeo and Juliet play in high
Was it
school.
in
as part of
Shakespearean,
English. Yeah, it was all like it was a proper full Romeo and Juliet play, but they basically just copied Baz Luhrmann.
They have guns and stuff.
No, like just the way that the characters were.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
yeah. Like, and our English teacher ended up writing a letter to them, just saying
You can't do
this
that.
wasn't good. And the characters were basically just copied from the film. And
Was it like the Drams in the Hot Fuzz scene?
it wasn't quite that bad, but yeah, you could just see. I remember you could see the similarities between certain characters in the film. And
If you're going to go see proper Shakespeare, you go and see some of the legends do it, like Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen.
Yeah,
That's
you
when
want
you go
someone
see-
chewing the scenery.
You want someone fucking going for it. Absolutely.
I went to an
King
evening
Lear.
with Ian McKellen, and that was great. He was doing Shakespeare readings and Gandalf like set pieces and stuff. It was great.
What an absolute legend. But yeah, That's his musical theatre hour gone. We could do a full episode of musical theatre. I don't care. I absolutely adore it. Oh, lovely. Any more you've done there, Candy, this week?
No, that's absolutely it.
Apart from gave birth to a lion cub, the king has returned. Cool. Stick, what you been doing, boy?
Well, Gadget's not here, so I'll fill in the space if that's all right. I was going to talk about this.
Absolutely. Fill it up.
Two things. First one is I watched Arnold on Netflix.
I can help you with that, because I did as well.
The Arnold Schwarzenegger documentary. It's a 3-part documentary on Netflix. Each episode is about an hour long, and it focuses on the first part of Arnold's life and career as growing up in Austria and becoming a bodybuilder. Then his transition. Next episode is his transition into film, and then finally his transition into politics and beyond. And it's just a really fascinating documentary. Like, I don't know a lot of this stuff I already know about the man anyway, because it's fascinating.
Because he's one of the most famous men in history.
Yes, and but it's all him. He's telling the story. So the whole documentary,
and all, innit? They don't pull back.
It's Schwarzenegger talking about his family, his upbringing, talking about getting into bodybuilding, the career, his movie career, and everything. And obviously, they still have other talking heads from the likes of James Cameron and some of his friends and bodybuilders and Stallone and people like that, and politicians and things. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I could listen to the man talk all day. He's just ridiculously clever as well. He said that one piece of advice he got when he was starting his bodybuilding career was someone told him, I can't remember who he said, was train your mind as much as
it was his teacher at school.
Yeah, because he goes, if an injury ever happens and you can't do this anymore, you've still got your brain. Yeah. And he's always done that throughout his whole life. He's constantly reading and adapting and changing his outlook on life, because just he takes in so much knowledge and runs with it. And I didn't realize how much good he'd actually done as governor, and how much he'd actually brought, especially for a Republican
together.
Yeah,
for a Republican.
He was one of the good Republicans.
Then he went really like central, didn't he, for a long time, and he was like just a centralist.
Pretty much Democrat and left now.
Yeah. It's weird how he's a fascinating human.
Yeah,
and like his early life, where him and his brother, they had to walk through like one of the darkest forests in Austria just to get to school and stuff like that. You can see why he was driven to become better. He was always searching for the next best thing. Like when he won Mr. Olympia, it's like, what next?
Yeah, and it's
that's what I love about him.
He did all the bodybuilding in Europe, and he'd won those. And he went to America, and he came fourth in his first competition. He's like, to him, that was like
not good
abject failure, and it's not good enough. And he's let everyone down, and it's like, right, now I train better, I train harder, and I come back and I win. And he did that every year, just gets better and better and better. And it's just outside. You know, we all know him from the dumb, fun action flicks with the cheesy one-liners and stuff.
He knew what he was doing.
But where he came from to get to that point, it's fascinating. Absolutely fascinating.
He didn't even hide from the fact that like his dad was in the German army during the Nazis. He didn't hide from any of that. He didn't hide from any. I loved how, because sometimes these Netflix things, because I know he's got a good deal with Netflix at the moment. Him and Netflix are in bed big style. But
he's got a new show, hasn't he?
He talked about his affair, his bastard son. Talked about everything and how he regrets, like him and his wife still not together. Do you know what I mean? They're split up. And he talked about all the Kennedys and how he didn't infiltrate it, but he joined the massive, like one of America's biggest families, the Kennedys, because of Maria Shriver. Maria Shriver, is that her name? Is that his wife's name?
Yeah.
Yeah, because of her, because she's a Kennedy. And how he had to like impress America's biggest family, because Arnold Schwarzenegger considers himself as an American, doesn't he? He always has ever since he landed on those shots. I am an American man.
He even says it in the documentary. It's like, I never felt where I came from was where I wanted to be. Like everything about America, America's so big and bold and out in your face, and that's
like
him.
It is.
And it's like that's where I felt I was.
I felt it was great. I thought it was one of the better documentaries they've ever done.
Yeah, they actually changed the law in America, and a lot of people think it was because of him.
Yeah,
to stop, you now have to be American born to be the president.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
You only had to be a citizen. And then eventually they changed it, so you had to be American born, and people were saying it The rumor
Imagine
is
him as president.
because he did so much good.
Because
Yeah.
they didn't like how he didn't care about the lobbyists.
Yeah, and he's a big opponent of gerrymandering.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say. What's the word?
Come on, you got
Gerrymandering?
it. Yeah.
No. Anyway, he's a big opponent of that, and he thinks that it just wastes time and it stops progress. And he did so much. Just watch it. I don't want to go into it because if you don't know a lot about his political career, I mean, most people know more about his movie career, but yeah, his political career is fascinating. His upbringing is fascinating. The man is just. I could just sat and just listen to him all day. Like I watched all 3 in a row. Like
I did.
3 hours just watching in a row. It's because
I did.
I could just listen to him all day. Incredible man, absolutely incredible. He's one of a kind. Like,
Yeah. I love that. I love the little snippets from Stallone saying, "Oh no, how am I supposed to compete with that?" Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
Fuck, I was the guy. Now he turns up.
yeah. Stone's like he kills 2 people. I've got to kill 10 people.
Yeah.
I kill 10 people. He's got to kill 20 people.
And then he goes
It's
into
like-
politics.
Yeah, he goes, and he won. Stallone's like, he won.
Yeah, he definitely won. But yeah, he's a great bloke and great American man, Arnold Schwarzenegger. There's no way you'd tell anyone is an Australian. I thought that was fascinating because I thought he was really proud of his heritage, but he's not.
He's proud about being an American and
An American.
creating his fame and fortune there.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah,
I think that's
he's the
fascinating.
definition of what the American dream
Yes.
is meant to be.
Mm.
Yes, because he wasn't rich. He didn't come from a rich family at all.
No.
At fuck all. And I love the fascination when he was younger as well, where he had posters of men on his wall, and his mum's like, "Oh no, he's gay." It's like, no, he just loves muscles. He just loves muscles. I thought that was fucking genius. Oh, he's great, and he's smoking a cigar all the way through it.
All time.
Got to respect that. That man loves
He
a
said that.
stogie.
He said even when he was in politicians, he goes, "I still carry on smoking my Cubans because that's me. I'm not going to change."
Yeah, even after his heart attack, he's like, "Yeah, forget it, man. I'm still smoking." What a guy! What a guy! Cool. Any more then,
Right.
Stig?
Yes, I've got a game to review. I got a review code for this week. It's AEW Fight Forever. This is a new wrestling game, obviously for the AEW brand of wrestling. It's developed by Ukes and THQ Nordic.
Oh,
If
you
you
used to
know-
do the SmackDown ones, didn't they?
Yeah, so if you know Ukes, they used to do all the old kind of late 90s, mid 2000 wrestling games, like the arcadey ones, the ones that everyone fondly remembers.
SmackDown.
And this is exactly what they're going for with this game. This is the same feel and look that they're going for with that. So this is not like your 2K, WWE 2K games, which are very much simulators and
Yep.
really tricky to try and do all these, fancy things, full of all like, shit that you don't need.
Yeah, you just want to fucking grab a bloke and flip him.
This is like when you're fighting in the ring with this, it's so easy to pick up and control. There's no fiddling about. There's no combos or anything to kind of really learn. You've got grapple button, up, down, left, right, diagonal, or that's all you got to do, and that does your move. You've got like your punch buttons, up, down, left, right, does different punches. You've got a couple of buttons to stop your reverse moves and things like that, and there's a whip button so you can throw them into corners or over ropes and stuff like that. It is ridiculously easy to pick up and play, and that's what they're going for. The character design, models, and everything in it, they aren't as polished and perfect looking as a 2K game. Again, that's the whole point. It's giving you that arcadey feel. The whole point of this game is to be more arcade-like.
Fun.
To be fun, arcade, and a bit over the top.
It's not a simulator.
Yeah, exactly. So, for example, you can go into a barbed wire ring deathmatch, which has replaced the ropes with It is replaced the ropes with barbed wires. There is barbed wire tables in the corner, and the ropes explode at given moments, and you can slam people on explosives in the ring. And you can also, if you do like a death match, you can pull out bags of tacks. You can throw people into the LED boards at the top of the ramp that'll smash and break. You can like kind of do all this crazy shit and just have a lot of fun with it. And you do all these like poses. So, you can pose to the crowd to get your meter up, and then you get your special meter up. And then when you get your special, you can do your your finishing move and all that. So it's very much harking back to No Mercy, to Here Comes the Pain, SmackDown games. So all that is brilliant and really good fun. It does have its drawbacks.
I was just about to say, is there a but?
Yes. I think that the creator wrestler is lacking. So it only kind of has set models.
Yeah.
And it's very limited on those set models and what you can actually do to create a character. So you don't have, I'm not talking about going crazy like the Street Fighter 6 one, but you're given like 8 different faces and that's it. They're your faces, choose one of them. Oh. There isn't a lot to the ring entrances are really fun, so you can actually press a button when you come out to the ring and it brings up all these different pyro options and screen options and you can play around with it. So I have like a row of smoke going up, and then when he puts his arms out, like fireworks go off in those directions, and then fire comes out the side of the ramp when you're going down. You can create your own arenas and do that. That's quite fun. I think that the entrances need to be longer because they just cut out straight away.
Yeah, of course.
So they come to the top of the ramp, they walk to the ramp, and they cut out, and then the next person comes down. You don't get the full.
Oh, you want them to
entrance.
Walk into the ring, don't you?
Yeah, I want to see the full entrance exactly. And
stand on the turnbuckle and put your arm up.
Yeah, I mean, because you have there are guys whose whole kind of ring entrances revolve around them doing something to get to the ring.
Yeah.
Like Adam Cole does this huge call which the whole crowd sings along to, and they don't have that in there, and that's a bit disappointing. The match types are at the moment, apparently they're going to add to this. They say that the whole point of Fight Forever is that they'll keep adding to it.
Oh, so it's a platform. Fight forever.
Yeah, so at the moment you've got singles, tags, 3-way, 4-way, ladder, battle royale, falls count anywhere, like an unsanctioned match, which is basically a no DQ,
hardcore,
and an exploding barbed wire death match. There's no cage matches. There's no cage match is one of them. There's no
Can you not go into the back, into the car park or anything?
You can't go into the back the arenas. You can't fight into the crowd. There's no blood and guts match, which is like an AEW match. So it is lacking in those certain areas. But I think where this game is going to find its feet is online.
Yeah,
because it's so easy to pick up and play online. It does have kind of like a story mode, which is kind of cool in that you can pick an actual character from the roster, but I think it works better if you make your own and start, because the whole journey is meant to be about you joining the company and working your way up, and it doesn't really work if you pick one of the people who are like a top world wrestling star in the world.
Course.
And as you go along, you actually bump into storylines that have actually happened in real life, and then you get this video clip of what the actual video clips of that storyline in real life. That's kind of cool. You're going throughout the history of AEW, and your character becomes part of that. That's really cool, but it's just getting a bit repetitive.
I think the older ones did. The SmackDown ones did. It ended up being oh my god, it's Paul Bearer. What's he coming back for? Backstage and stuff like that. It used to be quite funny. You had branching paths, didn't you? But it were never.
Yeah,
never grand.
The fighting, the matches. This is where it excels because, and I think I can't play anyone online yet for obvious reasons that it's not out. It will be when this podcast goes out. It actually comes out today when this podcast comes out.
Nice.
So when it's online, I can't wait to play online and experience that, because I think that's where the fun's going to be, when it's playing against other people. Yeah,
of course.
What's the name of your character?
It's just called Stu Baker because
I bet he looks absolutely like you if they've only got default settings.
Yeah.
He looks absolutely the most realistic you ever on a game.
He's the muscles that he's got, just me.
I bet he's got face option 1, body option 1, everything else option 1. It's you.
He has very low fat, very high muscle. He's 6'1".
Oh yeah, like you, 6'1".
He's got a spiky.
He's put a full foot on his own height.
Like bleach blonde hair.
Just like you.
Yeah. So it's exactly
great hairline.
Yeah, exactly me. But no, I called him Stu Baker purely for the fact that there are the announcer does call you down. You can pick names.
Stu.
There's a guy called Stu Grayson and there's a woman called Britt Baker. So I just took their names and mashed them together.
Does it go Stu Baker?
Yeah, basically. There's no commentary in it either. It's like just like the old SmackDown games.
When I used to play the old SmackDown ones, they had one called, and it used to
music.
be, and here he is, Kenny. It's like, that's not good. That's not scary.
Yeah, but it's good. It's really good fun, and if they start adding more game types to it, I think it's going to be really people will really enjoy it.
I could do with a good wrestling game, me.
I think this is what people I've been seeing commenting it have been going, this is what I want. Like 2K looks amazing. It has loads of fancy settings, but there's something about it that's just too polished. And I just want to play something like the old games that I used to love, and this is there.
You're not bothered about sweat physics. You just want to play some fucking wrestling.
Yeah, exactly. But this has blood, and this has fucking blood in it. And like, Matt, if you look up the pictures of the blood in this game, like you can just cake the whole fucking mat in it. Like I said earlier, with like the tacks, if you slam someone into tacks, they have like the tacks in the back and everything. It's
gorgeous.
Yeah. So yeah, it's really good fun.
Enjoying it then,
Yeah, I'm looking forward to more characters and more match types because at the moment the roster is already outdated.
Yeah.
I mean, it got announced like November 2020. And it's only just coming out. Like one of the characters on there joined WWE a year and a half ago. Do you know what I mean? So
wow.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, fair enough.
It needs a bit of an update. But I'm sure that'll come.
Awesome. I'm glad you got what you wanted, mate. It's lovely that. I like it when you like. I'm still waiting for the next good football game, and I'm a bit scared.
Yeah,
because I like football, and I'm like, what's going to happen? It's the most tumultuous time to be a football gaming fan ever.
Also, it plays amazing on the Asus ROG.
Oh, I bet it does.
I've been playing mainly on that. Like, it's just being able to just sit there and play it in handheld. It's great.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Cool. Biggie, you done anything?
Yeah, I've been watching a mockumentary. It is called Cunk On Earth.
Oh, yeah, I need to watch this.
I need to watch it.
So it's a British...
Is that Philomena Cunk?
It is a mockumentary television series produced by Charlie Brooker. It stars the lovely Diane Morgan as Philomena Cunk, an ill-informed investigative reporter, a character who's previously been on Charlie Brooker's Weekly Wipe and Cunk on Britain. And it's more of the same if you've seen her stuff before. Just her deadpan Manchurian accented delivery.
She is so fucking good. She's a genius.
Fantastic with the questions that we've been asking. She visits different places around the world. So each episode has a title like Beginning of Man, the Industrial Revolution. So she goes to all the different places where she thinks it's worthy to visit. And then she asks the boffins in these places the questions that you've been wanting to ask, such as which was more culturally significant, the Renaissance or Single Ladies by Beyonce? And she actually asks these questions with such...
Well, I know which is. It's Beyonce, 100%.
Obviously.
It's brilliant.
Funny.
She's just so good. Other questions that she puts to the historians would include things like, why are pyramids shaped like the way they are? Is it to stop homeless people sleeping on them? And when she covers religion, she talks about Jesus. Was he the first victim of cancel culture? And is it ironic that his final moments created the iconic logo?
He is the first cancel culture celebrity. I thought, fuck it, we've had enough of this guy. He's talking too much. Let's cancel him. That's fucking genius. That is genius.
There's a scene where she's in a cave looking at cave paintings and she says, why is humankind at war with cows?
That's brilliant. Oh, wow.
And comments on the artistry of the statue of David and says it's so detailed you can see the veins going through his hands. You know, it's so detailed. Then she goes to the back of it and says, but why does he not have an anus? It is exactly what it is. It's just brilliant deadpan comedy delivery. And if you really weren't paying attention when you put it on, you may come across this and think it's actually genuine because she's that good at her delivery. But the boffins just sit there just completely mouth open, just like, what are you asking me?
Yeah, because when they did Cunk on Britain, she's asking real like experts.
Yeah.
And they're like, they keep looking at camera going, what's fucking happening here?
But she's got physical comedy. She trips over. She's trying to do some a serious talk while walking down a sand dune, and then she loses her footing and rolls all the way down the dune. But it's just great. It's just a great bit of fun, and you actually learn a bit of history as she goes through it, because obviously she's covering serious topics, but with a bit of a wry smile as well, which she doesn't actually have because she delivers it with a deadpan face. But she's so good. And I haven't seen Cunk On Britain, but my wife and I came across this. And
it's the same. As far as I'm aware, it's the same thing.
We're just giggling away. It's just so good. And it's just quick, 20-minute, half-hour episodes. They're just, a nice, easy watch. Just a lot of fun. And she's fantastic.
I'm so happy that's now available. Because is it on Netflix? So I don't have to pay for a TV license?
We're currently watching it on Netflix.
Perfect, because I'm not paying the BBC. Because I know it's a BBC show, isn't it? So
yeah, she was talking about the process being described as for mummies, as bodies being washed, the brain removed, anything possible of rotting was also taken away, the body's covered in salt and then wrapped in bandages. And then Philomena Cunk says this was the same as the spa treatment that Gwyneth Paltrow goes through every week.
I think she's great, mate. She was good in Ricky Gervais's Afterlife as well.
She's in Afterlife, yeah. She's been in quite a few things, but yeah, she's definitely nailed this mockumentary down perfectly, and I could watch her all day.
I wonder if she's ever going to do a stand-up, because I reckon she could crush as stand-up.
She, I saw an interview with her, and she said she did stand up for 10 years, but hated it, apparently.
Oh, so she might have not had a special made for her then. Oh yeah, I'm gonna tune into that, because I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of Brooker's writing as well. So
yeah, you'll love it.
Again, he likes to be so scolding, but you're also learning as well.
Yeah,
it's absolutely it's great. Really good watch.
Cunk On Earth. Cunk On Earth's just a fucking incredible title as well. Wow, oh, it's awesome! Can't wait for that. Cool. Is that you, mate?
That's it, mate.
Right then, me. Nothing of significance come out this week at all, really. Nothing. So I've not really done. I'm joking. Game of the year. The Game of the Year came out. Final Fantasy 16 came out for everyone if you own a PlayStation 5. Where do I begin? Has anyone else started playing it?
Only the demo.
No, I'm getting through my other games first. I'm not.
It's going to be a time sink.
I'm not buying anything new until I get through the couple of games I've got on my PlayStation.
You interested in it at all, Biggie?
No, I mean, I never played 15. I know you guys touched upon it before, but I have it, but never got around to it. Just
I won't bother.
I've been playing, as you know, other RPGs at the minute, so yeah, it's I want to play it, but I'm not in a rush. But I get why you want it so much.
I've got mixed thoughts. This is not the knockout I intended it to be. This is no longer an RPG to me, which may please people, because as I was saying, this is the most accessible Final Fantasy game I've ever played. The battle system is incredible. If you like character action games, Devil May Cry, Bayonetta, God of War, it's basically that's what the game is now. So you remember, especially you, Biggie, as well, grinding, right? Thing of the past. Buying 99 potions, yeah? Thing of the past. It's not
my favourite thing to do.
Not a thing anymore. So you can only carry 4 potions at any given time. You can only carry 3 eye potions. There's no Phoenix Downs. This game is basically a fantastic political Game of Thrones story. So you've played the demo, so you know the beginning of the story. That never lets up. That is constant throughout. The story is absolutely sublime. The voice acting is sublime. The graphics are sublime. The game, when you're not because let me just put this out there, the combat is fantastic. It's incredible. It plays like Devil May Cry 5. You know what I mean? So if you've played that, you'll love it.
This is why I'm interested, because of how much
that's what it plays like.
A Devil May Cry
the buttons are
game.
the same. The buttons are the same. Literally. Do you know when you can do your devil triggers and stuff like that? It's exactly the same. All of it's the same.
Can you hit someone with a motorbike?
No, there's no motorbikes in this. You can kick somebody on a chocobo. It's pretty fucking cool. It's pretty fucking cool if you like chocobos. And everyone likes chocobos. So the actual...
Apart from when they're in the cart game.
Yeah. My main problem with this is the world's beautiful. It's open zones, not open world, like God of War. My big issue is the best thing about some RPGs is the exploration, right?
Mm.
This is not a corridor game where you're just going down a tunnel. You can branch off and go have a look at stuff. There's nothing there. There's nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
So you could walk down a beautiful valley and enjoy the scenery and enjoy the dialogue that the characters are talking about. Clive, Final Fantasy Clive, he's talking to his friends who was in his party at the time, and you can enjoy that, and you can enjoy the lore nuggets that you get from exploring. You might walk down this path, fight a few baddies, and get a potion.
Mm.
And if you've already got 4 potions, you can't do anything with that potion. Do you know what I mean? You rarely do you go and pick up a treasure chest and it's got a new piece of gear to wear, like the games do. There's no new pieces of magic. You unlock new magic by unlocking, like you do on Devil May Cry, in the menu.
Yeah. I think Hogwarts had that problem as well.
There's nothing to look for.
You go into dungeons and you just don't get anything worthwhile.
Yeah. That's like the thing is, it's really good when you're in the moment. Like, you can put the pad down for the cutscenes are not overly long either. I think the longest cutscene is the beginning one. So it's not like, God, come on, get on with it. There's not much, but what the game does, it's got the active lore system, which I talked about on the other week, where at any moment in time, because there's so many characters, so many nations, you can just pause the game and find out what they're talking about, which is fucking fantastic. I wish I had this when I was watching Game of Thrones. It's perfect. It's brilliant. So you get proper absorbed into the story. The story's fantastic. It's genuinely like gripping and gory and sexy and brilliant, brutal, and everything about it. He's talking about xenophobia and slavery and proper mature adult things. It is Game of Thrones, 100%. Like the nation looks like fucking Westeros. You know, everything. There's even an Iron Isles where the Iron. They're not called the Ironborn. Are they? How they called it? Something like, you know what I mean? Like the people from Game of Thrones, the Squid people. Remember those guys? But yeah, there's just no reason to, like, this side quest. Now, this is my tip if you're playing this game. Don't do the side quests.
Right. Just hammer through it.
There's no reason to do it. There's genuinely no reason to do it. So you get about 50 experience points by doing a side quest. You get about 600 for fighting. So what's point in doing that side quest when you're getting fuck all from it? You're not getting a new sword from it. You go to your base. It's got a Mass Effect thing where you go back home all the time to your home base and talk to your people, and you can just build a new sword there. So the only real reason to explore is to get a little bit more lore nuggets, which you can get anyway by going into the menu, which is... It's such a strange design choice. I get it. It's because it's for people that just want to keep progressing, keep going. There is no reason. I have not died. I don't think I can.
I definitely will be able to.
It's not difficult at all, but apparently, and I've seen some reviews, when you do die, you just respawn at the beginning of that boss. Or if it's a 2-stage boss fight or a 3-stage boss fight, you start at the stage you got to.
Oh, good.
So it's really like, the game wants you to just keep going. Now there's like hunts where you can go and kill really tough bosses, but there's nothing story-wise about it. That's just because you like to fight.
I think that's the trouble with Final Fantasy 15, isn't it, though? That they said that, you know, they did want to make it an open world game where Final Fantasy never really has been. I mean, you've got your world map, but there's little bits and bobs to go and discover.
You can't really do anything on the world map, can you?
Yeah. So I mean, it's not a departure that there's not much to do outside of the main story, which is fine. But do you think that because it's almost like it's kind of almost becoming more of a Western RPG than a JRPG at this point?
That's its biggest problem.
I was going to say, do you think that people are going to struggle with that? People that were Final Fantasy fans from 5, 6, 7 onwards, they're going to think, well, this isn't really a Final Fantasy game. This is a Japanese studio trying a Western RPG.
That's his biggest problem. So it's not like Dragon Quest, and that's why I don't love it. Like Dragon Quest, you can go down a path and explore stuff, and you get something great for doing it. You're always rewarded for going off a bit. On this, I mean, you are rewarded with spectacular vistas and lovely lore, like dialogue and things like that. And I don't know, maybe you are struggling, so you do need to go down a corridor to find a potion. I just can't imagine anyone struggling with it. And the game, what it does it really smartly. The second you're just about to get bored of a little dungeon or something, it just switches on. It says like, here we go, amazing boss fight. And minor spoiler, if you've played the demo, it's not really a spoiler. These icon boss fights, which are the big summons, your big Ifrits, your big Shivas. If you know the series, you know all these. Bahamut, fucking Odins, all these. They are the best part. These are it's I get why it's PS5 and it's not on PS4. You wouldn't be able to do it. You would not be able to do it. The SSD is the only reason you can do this, because it's just like every single icon boss fight is a different type of game. So the first one that you play in the demo, it's like a rail shooter, isn't it? You
Yes.
played it, Candy, at the beginning, where you're firing projectiles.
Yeah.
And this one, I'm not spoiling who you're against, it's a wrestling match.
Nice.
A kaiju wrestling match. You are suplexing other things. And it says at the bottom,
Nice.
press square to jackhammer, press square to suplex. Do you know what I mean? Press
Cool.
square to jump off fucking turnbuckles, if they were turnbuckles. But you're also giant Godzilla-sized monsters. And it's fantastic. And this is what I'm at odds, because the game is its own enemy. If this wasn't called Final Fantasy, it'd be a 10 out of 10. I know that
Yeah.
sounds pathetic and disgusting, but
It
that's
sounds
just how
almost
I feel.
like it doesn't need the Final Fantasy title, but then it might not sell as many. But
It
how
could have
do you
been
think
called
the people that-
Clive.
Yeah, Devil May Clive. But how
Devil
do you
May
think the people that, there's going to be a good proportion of people that have jumped onto Final Fantasy for the first time playing the Final Fantasy VII remake?
Yeah.
How are they going to cope?
This is going to be the most successful Final Fantasy game since 7, I think.
There's no doubt that the series needed to change, because the world of gaming has changed, and some of the themes, some of the things in Final Fantasy games are a little bit dated. I think especially some of the female characters, some of the stories.
Oh, the females in this are brilliant.
Yeah, I mean some of the stories are just a bit like aimed at teenagers, obviously, and the gamers that grew up playing Final Fantasy are older now. So the original, the original people. It's going to go one of two ways, isn't it? They're either going to love it because it's doing something different, or they're going to hate it because it's doing something different.
Yeah. The thing is, right, I read a few reviews. I can see why one reviewer said, it took me 30 hours to complete this, and one reviewer said, it took me 70 hours to complete this.
Yeah.
Because that 70-hour guy, we're going down corridors for wasting his fucking time. Just follow the arrow. That is my biggest tip. The thing, because I've been going down corridors and having extra battles, I am so overpowered just by default. I'm killing, like, I'm talking to this guy that's clearly going to become a boss. He's doing this big monologue. You'll die. And I'm going, and he's dead.
I found that with Final
oh.
Fantasy 15 at the end as well. Like, the final boss in Final Fantasy 15.
Pathetic.
Nothing.
Yeah, because you've been spending 10 hours just grinding by accident.
Because that's what you're trained to do in a Final Fantasy game. You know that you're going to get to a point. You need to find a spot where you're going to need to grind, because you won't be able to carry on. And I don't know whether that's what's kind of shaped me as a gamer, but that's what I enjoy doing in RPG games. I like grinding, and I like being prepared for the next boss.
I like strategic planning. So in this game, you've only got one character. You only control one character. You've got a dog that you can issue commands to. The dog's fantastic, and you can pet him. You can play ball with him. You can play fetch with him. You can do loads of. You've got interactions with the dog. The game takes place in different timelines. So beginning of Clive's life, middle of Clive's life, and further when he's older. He's great. The voice acting's fantastic. Sid is one of my favourite characters in it, voiced by Finchy from The Office. He's fantastic in it. Everyone's great in it. It's just, I wish they were braver and they just went, this game's just going to be cutscene, battle, cutscene, battle, cutscene. I don't need to run across a field for an hour for no reason.
Mm.
It sounds pathetic of me. I think it's daft for me to say it because it's not random battles. You can see there's not many enemies in that field, that massive field. I'm like, I've killed everything. I'm not used to that. That's what the problem is. I'm not used to that. I think, I'll go into another zone and come back. No, I've still killed everything. It's like, what do I do?
That was the thing with Dragon Quest XI, was that you could avoid the battles if you wanted to, but if you wanted to grind for something, you could take all the right enemies on to get the stuff you needed. You know, there was reasons to avoid and reasons to fight. That's what I liked about Dragon Quest XI.
I think people are going to love this game. I do really, really like it. It's just, in the back of my mind, I'm like, the only thing that makes this a Final Fantasy is the fact that there's chocobos, there's moogles in it, there's the summons from those games. Do you know what I mean? It's just the themes that are Final Fantasy. The game is not Final Fantasy, but this is what they wanted, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm only about 10, 12 hours in.
So it's basically a reboot of the series, then, isn't it? If it's the most accessible, you say, to get into, and it's such a departure. If you haven't played any Final Fantasy games before, now might be the time to jump on then.
This is the one. And you'll get a shock when you go back to Final Fantasy VII. Do you know what I mean? That will shock you. The difference between those.
This is where I jump on.
This is exactly
16 games into the series.
This is
Let's go.
People are going to people do love it. The critics fucking adore it. It's 88% on Metacritic. It's fantastic, but it's really short for the genre. It's not a JRPG anymore.
It's 71 from users.
Is it? There'll be legacy users like me.
That's what I mean. That kind of shows the difference, I think.
It's a character action game. You cannot categorize this as a Japanese role-playing game anymore. I know it's a Japanese role-playing game, but it's not that anymore. It reminds me more of God of War, of Devil May Cry. If you like those games, and I do like those games, you're going to love it. I'd honestly, so far, give it an 8 out of 10. Strong. If it were called something else, I'd probably give it a 10. I'm just a bit sad because I wanted it to be more like Dragon Quest, more like Final Fantasy X, more like Final Fantasy IX.
I think I'm exactly the same, and I think the way to put it would be like, you're being precious over Final Fantasy, the title, but that is what it is. You know, people grew up with those games. You are going to be precious over it.
I shouldn't be precious, but apparently the Square Enix have said we're going to be doing spin-offs of other things where you're still going to get your traditionals. You know what I mean? So I'm not angry. I'm not sad. I'm just like, you know what I mean? Bittersweet. It's great. I'm not saying it's bad. And Clive is the fuckboy of the year.
Yes.
And there's a reason. There's a fantastic reason it's called Clive in it. It makes sense.
Oh.
It's not just a daft name. So prepare for that. It's great. 8 out of 10 so far. It might get better. Who knows? Is that everyone? It is everyone, isn't it?
Yeah.
Let's get on to the main topic. Happy Place. What is it, Stig? It's a patron. Patron produced
monthly, choice, thingy-me-bob, where the patrons choose. We give them 4 options this month: positive, happy memories around media, things that make us happy, mindful, joy, video games, and joyful actors in their roles. And the positive, happy memories and the things that make us happy drew. So we're just going to mix it in together and kind of talk about positive and happy memories and things that make us happy around media, on games, TV, film, books, music, maybe experiences.
We're going to spend half an hour to 45 minutes being happy.
Yeah, talk about things that have made us happy, like
15 minutes on being happy.
Yeah.
So let's just round table the fuck out of this. Stig.
Yeah, so settle down, Biggie. I'm going to talk about wrestling.
Oh, God.
Don't attack his happy place, Biggie. Come on.
I won't. He knows I'm ribbing him.
So I grew up absolutely loving wrestling, and I kind of fell out of it for a while towards the kind of middle back end of the 2000s, the first
After the
half of
Attitude Era.
2010s. No, there was, it kind of went to PG. It kind of went a bit shit. There's still some kind of good stuff in there, and every now and again I'd check out the pay-per-view here and there, and I'd always watch the Rumble and WrestleMania regardless, but I'd get to those points and I'd be like, I don't know who a lot of these people are. And then I kind of got dragged back into it again around when CM Punk was about. And for my 30th, I decided to finally go to WrestleMania.
I didn't even know you were 30 yet, mate. Wow.
Yeah, a long time ago already. 7 years now.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, so 7 years ago, me, my brother, and my dad decided that we were going to go to a WrestleMania. So we decided to go, and it was in. I don't think I've talked like how I'd been on the podcast before, but not really in detail. And it was always kind of one of those lifelong bucket list things that we wanted to do.
Yeah. Of course.
Like we've been to live events in the UK, but they're just house shows really aren't the same. And you don't.
They never put it on telly or out, do they?
No, they're kind of fun, but they're inconsequential. They don't mean anything. So they are. They never come to the UK with a pay-per-view. Having said that, there is one next week that I'm going to in London. They're actually bringing a proper pay-per-view, like event to the UK this
What's
year.
What's it called? London's Burning.
No, it's Money in the Bank.
There definitely is Money in the Bank in London.
Yeah, it's basically a ladder match, and the main.
They've got to get the briefcase.
Yeah, the briefcase has got a contract for like a title match in there. So
yeah, I remember they were always fun because it's like, it's just about to reach it, even though we could, and they get dragged down again.
but this kind of just rolls into what kind of makes me happy, and a happy memory around that is us getting to go and do that WrestleMania. As like me, my brother, and my dad, that was kind of cool as well. Like all three of us getting to go. But
yeah.
We did like the whole package. So part of the package was you got your hotel rooms, you got fan access to both days where you could go meet and greet the wrestlers and go and do things. We had the NXT show on one night, which is their developmental brand, which at the time was the best thing that they were doing. Like it was better than the main roster. Like the NXT show, that was actually better than WrestleMania.
That's supposed to be like next.
Yeah, it was. It was born, I think, from that. Like it was meant to be the next stars, and then
yeah.
abbreviated.
I remember. I know the logo. I've seen the logo before.
Yeah, and it was like the introduction and like of debut of like a huge Japanese star.
Yeah.
Shinsuke Nakamura. So he was fighting there, and like I remember. None of these names will mean anything to you, but trust me, like at the time there was a young up and coming tag team called American Alpha, absolutely incredible, like amateur wrestlers who had broken into pro wrestling, and they were amazing, and they won the tag titles, and everyone went nuts. And I remember saying to my brother when we go, we've been to live wrestling events before and felt really weird about cheering.
I get
like
that.
It's not real. What are you cheering for? Like I can't.
You're extremely British, and British people don't cheer.
I always struggle to like. I enjoyed watching it, but I always struggle to cheer and get into it.
I've never whooped in my life.
And I said to him, if we're going, let's just get into it because we're surrounded by thousands of other wrestling fans
pantomime
who don't care that you're cheering. Don't be so. There's no point of us being self-conscious about it. So we just went, got battered, and just enjoyed it and cheered and sang along and everything, and it was just amazing. That show was amazing. The meet and greets, I got to meet and greet people. I got to meet some legends. Got to stand in like the Elimination Chamber. Bob Backlund put me in a crossface chicken wing. Like, and it hurt. They fucking sunk it in as well.
Hang on, it was called Bob Backlund.
Bob Backlund, yeah.
Backlund, and he put him in a chicken wing.
So his submission move is called the crossface chicken wing, where he kind of like wraps your arm around your back and like talks on your neck. And he was putting people in that for like photo opportunities.
I bet that fucking kills.
And I had a Bret Hart t-shirt on, and his biggest rivalry in WWE was with Bret Hart. And he got up there and he was like, "How dare you come on this stage wearing that shirt?" And I was like, "Can you put me in the chicken wing for a picture?" And he put me in. He goes, "This is what you get for wearing that shirt." And he proper sunk it in, and it fucking hurt.
I bet it did.
But yeah, I got to meet the New Day, and I did a little video with the New Day.
Did you do it? Did you do a promo with them?
No, so we stood there like taking it. And my brother was like, because they do this thing where they go like, "New Day rocks, New Day rocks." It gets the crowd like going, and they did. My brother goes, "Do one, but Stew Dog rocks." So
Stew Dog.
So they were going, "Stew Dog rocks," and like, "Yeah, that's you, Stew." I was like, "Yeah, Stew," and they were going, and they were like doing this video.
Keeping that, guys, Stew Dog.
It was really cool. Some of my friends call me Stew Dog.
Do they? They're not really good friends.
It kind of got born out of like a piss take, but then like they still say it.
Gadget, can we call this episode Stew Dog, please?
And it was just a really amazing, happy memory of
I bet it was
finally something that we've loved. Like we've always watched together as a family, and still enjoy now, and still watch now, and eventually decided, fuck it, let's go to WrestleMania and have a full weekend there. And obviously we had the big WrestleMania show, which was amazing. Like the AT&T Stadium is incredible in Dallas. Huge screens and they have there.
It's huge, isn't it?
And we're in the same hotel as all these wrestling fans. And then we obviously did the Hall of Fame show. Then we did the Raw after WrestleMania. And that was my actual birthday that day. So when we got back to the hotel, we were just in the bar getting absolutely wankered with all these wrestling fans doing wrestling chants and songs. And they all sang happy birthday.
Rocks.
They all sang happy birthday to me in the bar. And we did a birthday bow train. So at the time, there was a character called Bo Dallas who used to do a bow train, and he'd run around the ring, and he'd have people following him.
Whole train.
Yeah, and it'd be like a train of people following him, running around the ring. And they were like, "Do the birthday bow train." So it had me running around the bar with all these people running behind me and like singing happy birthday and cheering for me. And it was just an amazing time. And born from like a type of media, wrestling, that
absolutely.
we've always really enjoyed and loved. And that's like, I'd love to go back and do another one, but it's so expensive.
Yeah, of course it is.
It was potentially a once in a lifetime thing, really, unless you can kind of find cheaper ways
It's
to go.
amazing that you got to do something that you've loved forever. And I think it heightens it when you're with loved ones as well. There's no animosity. Like sometimes when you do things like that with friends, there's a big fallout halfway through it. Someone gets too drunk and there's an argument. But because you've done it with people that you love. I know your brother's usually chaos, isn't he? He usually gets you into some scrapes, but
no, not these days.
Just when you were a kid. It sounds like it sounds lovely, mate. Genuinely.
Yeah. Also, kind of helped that Dad was with us because he helped pay stuff.
Great dad. Fantastic man. Fantastic man. Gotta love that.
That was just. I mean, I thought I could talk about some games or things, but I just thought like mixing the both together there is like, I'm loving wrestling again at the moment. Like there's so much stuff going on like in it, especially like with the likes of Vince McMahon kind of being pushed to the side. There's new ideas being done in WWE. You've got AEW, which is a completely like separate product, and they do their own thing in their own style, and I'm just kind of enjoying it again. So
yeah.
After falling off it, I'm banging into it again at the moment.
That's awesome. Awesome. Any more to add? Because it's a double feature.
Not really. Like that's a big one for me. Really, like I said, there's a lot of like stuff that I do kind of love and have happy memories of. Like if it's media based, I kind of we've talked about it enough before, but the conclusion to Phase 3 of the MCU with Endgame and the portals and it all coming together, like that'll always be I'll always remember like the first time I saw that.
Yeah, man. Oh, that's awesome. I'll go next. When it comes to memories, for me, the happy ones of related to media, it's to do with music. And I know I always like say, because I were in a band, and we did well for the time. I was young. I was a young man, and we supported a big band, The Darkness. You've heard of them. And we managed one hit wonders in our eyes. we managed to play a gig in front of I think 9,000 people, and that's one of the greatest memories I'll ever have. I still like lay in bed sometimes and think about, when you can't go to sleep and your brain goes, Oodles, wake up. Remember that time? I fell down on stage, for God's sake, and I still remember, still had a great time. I tripped up. But it was funny. 9,000 people going, way! And I don't often talk about the good side of it because I had such a bad experience of being a musician and performing. Like, it really, destroyed my love of that, but there were some really good moments. The camaraderie we had, the stories are true, guys. 5, 6 lads do get into a transit van and go up and down the country and eat from petrol stations. Do you know what I mean? This is true. This happens because you're skint, and then eventually something happens. Like, you get a bit of a break. And the moment when somebody says, sign this, and you can see a big amount of money on that piece of paper, you don't understand how happy you feel. Then you realise that you don't get that money all at once, and they give it you in instalments, and usually with drugs. But besides that, it's still a great feeling, being able to, I've been in cover bands, I've done bands, but when you're playing your own music in front of that many people, it's not massive in grand scheme of things. I mean, you can see the back of 9,000 people. You know what I mean? You can see the back wall. It's not huge. I know people that have played in front of 80,000 people. Do you know what I mean?
You should see the crowd Elton's playing in front of now.
Oh, God,
That's what I mean. That's going to be 200,000 people.
I posted it in our music channel Discord. It's insane.
Yeah, that's a country, isn't it? He's playing in front of a country.
Yeah.
So, but to me, in my world, that were great. And
oh yeah,
I heard people clapping, and when you're a nobody band and you're a support band, you can get up, and sometimes the crowd just wants the main act to come on, don't they? Fuck off, they're not. They're all getting to. But we had people clapping and cheering for songs they didn't know, and there's something that money can't buy. That kind of happen. I mean, you've been around the music industry, Candy. You must have witnessed it. You must have been in back of vans.
I've been in the back of vans.
And your legs blown off.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I've toured with bands where I've been in a 6-person splitter, and I've also toured with Metallica. So it's kind of I've seen every
Metallica
step of the way.
A full coach brigade.
6 coaches and 2 different
they don't want
teams.
to sleep together, another.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just fantastic. It's barely media because it's media that's not really. It's performing arts, but it's still media related to me because I love music. Not to the stage
Music's
where
media, top form of media.
Yeah, it's media. It's not to the stage where I need to buy 90 different guitars. I'm not attacking Gadget here. He's an enthusiast. But some people say, I really like music, and they buy 45 guitars. I'm like, what can you play? And they're like, Smoke on the Water. So you're not into music then. You like the idea of music, which is fine. Again, I'm not gatekeeping and stuff like that. But when you're there, and I know a lot of our listeners are in bands or performed in bands or even speakers in front of a massive. It's just there's something great about it. The problem is you get an ego after that, and trust me. And this is a positivity month. I'll not talk about the knock of my ego a year or so later that destroyed my faith in the industry altogether. But at that very moment in time, the high is better than any drug, better than any feeling ever. And it's incredible. You can't put it in words what that's like until you've done it. Have you guys done anything wild like that?
Nah.
I mean, you do a podcast to thousands.
Thousands.
I mean, literally, the podcast is the only thing I've ever performed in other than buddy school plays.
So would you guys feel comfortable doing the podcast live in front of 200 people?
It'd be an experience, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I'd be up for it.
Yeah,
Nice if 200 people turned up.
Twitch is,
I don't suffer.
Twitch is a bit
Luckily, I don't
different,
suffer from stage. I don't suffer from stage fright. I never have. I don't know why. I'm just big-headed like that. I don't think I'm better. I just never have suffered from it. I know some people get They get stage fright and blindness.
I performed in drag on stage in front of ship's crew, and
That's
when
massive.
you first come out, you see everybody at first, and just for a second you're like, oh my god, and then
So what?
you just switch, you get into it, and then you're
exactly.
You're up there,
Well,
you're with other people with you.
Do you know what we did when we went out? Because we were the second band on. So we were looking from the sides, and when you're looking from the side, you're looking at the band and stuff. I remember walking out and hearing everyone, couldn't see any fucker.
Yeah.
It's right what they're saying. You cannot see anyone in front. You can see the first rows. Couldn't see anything.
You just know there's people there that you know. Well, we knew the people out there, but it's still intimidating at first. But there's definitely a rush that goes with it. But I haven't performed in front of thousands, thank God.
You have. You do it every week.
Wish.
You perform on the live episodes we do.
Yeah, but people
That's a
can't.
performance.
You can't see people then, can you? That's the
I
difference.
suppose. Yeah. Well, you can't see people on stage.
No.
You can steer them.
I think I'd be alright if it's a small crowd, like especially like if it's people you know and things like that. It's easier. But
Yeah.
I've never had it. Never had that chance
to get a good feel of it. If you're in a busy bar, get up on karaoke. When it's
done
really
karaoke in
busy.
a bar, but
A packed out one.
nah, it's like it's been
A
in the
local
karaoke room where it's a small room on the side, and most of the people in there are the people you're with. So
Yeah, like we did.
yeah, but that was like a private room. This was actually in the open pub. Anyone could come in and go.
But it's a karaoke room, yeah.
Yeah, it's like a separate room, but.
I think.
Yeah, when I'm in a
think-
small room
I-
with people I know, it's completely different. Like you see me when I'm on
just
karaoke,
fucking
it's like
couldn't get a microphone off you. I was like, he's like, watch me rap. I'm like, you can't do it. No, you run out of breath really fast, don't you? When you rap.
I was mint in my head. It sounded
Yeah,
mint.
exactly. Mint in the car and in the shower. But yeah, it's just a magical feeling. And I know some people that are listening to this now, they've experienced it as well. It's great. From 100 to 9,000 people, it makes no odds. It's just performing's great. Like, I bet you get really a good sense of accomplishment, Candy, when you've performed your art on someone's body and you know that visual is going out to thousands of people are going to see that visual. It must be a great feeling.
It's half that and half fear as well, because you open yourself up to people making horrible comments, which doesn't happen that often, but it does happen. So yeah, it opens yourself up to scrutiny. But I can't imagine, it's not like you're doing a tattoo in front of thousands of people. Like
I had a Corona bottle
conventions.
thrown at my head.
Well, that means you've made it. That means they like you.
I know.
If there was no
Hit me in
piss
the
in
side
it,
of the face, and I've literally still got the scar.
no piss in it, you're fine.
That weren't like that gig. That were a different gig. That were a local gig. Fucking it. Yeah, don't play the type of music we played at a punk bar. They don't appreciate it.
Oh yeah, no, don't do that.
They will throw piss at you. But yeah, it's I don't know. It's just really good, and it's really good memories. I've got better memories than birth of my kids, but that's not media related.
Yeah, boring, isn't it?
Boring.
Everyone knows that you should be happy for that.
Oh, cry my eyes out. Biggie, come on, tell us about your night in drag.
No, I'm going to drag this down to the normality a little bit because I don't got anything like that. But I just want to talk about a couple of things I have mentioned before, but just these things are important to me. So Final Fantasy VII, obviously just completing a game like
we
that
were
was just
there.
a milestone for me in my life because it just took me so long to do it.
Yeah, I know.
And I got ribbed for years by close friends about just the fact that I'd never
Got ribbed for years after.
It was always a running. It was always a running joke about the fact that I'd never finished that, and then just finding that weird compulsion.
Do you know
to
what were
finally
funny?
do it,
That
and then
time,
do it live as well.
I think it was on one of the lost episodes when you were like, yeah, one of my favourite games is Final Fantasy. And I was like, oh, yeah. And then you got, I've never finished it, though. I was like, what? How can it be one of your favourites? You've never finished it. It's my comfort game. I don't want it to finish.
Like I said, I've restarted it several times and just, it was that.
It's not a
comfort
short
I
game, is
had.
it, mate?
It's
not a
not.
short
And
game.
I just fell in love with it every time I played it. But just for some reason, something would always distract me. I'd never get around to finishing it. And
Life.
it was just so strange that it took me so long. And then to finally do it, and there's been a sadness, the little tinge of sadness, the fact that I've done it now. And it's probably something I never would probably pick up and play again now that I've done it.
Yeah, there's no
just-
surprises. You platinumed it and everything, didn't you?
The fact that you guys asked me to do it live and I got dressed up as Cloud for a giggle and that didn't quite work, but it was funny anyway. And
Karen Cloud was fantastic.
Oh, it worked, mate. It worked.
I can't believe that moment.
Bike helmet on my shoulder. Just it was madness, absolute madness. But yeah, it was fun finally getting that done. There's definitely a sense of achievement getting that platinum because it's not an easy.
Oh no, I know it all too well with certain games, mate. It's like, wow, I can't believe I've finally done it.
And that leads me on to my Vita, my little hacked Vita. I just love the fact that it's got so much on it, and I take it away on holiday, and it's just that little gaming that I can take with me.
Makes you
play
happy.
Anything at hand, yeah.
Because you own all those games as well, don't you?
Oh yes. And mention
Just
multiplayer. I get a lot
you.
of stick on this pod for enjoying shooting games, but the multiplayers that I play, like COD and Battlefield before that, it's not the game. It's not the game needs to be fun to play, but it's the banter that you have with your friends, the close friends that you play in, week out. That for me is what that's about. Because the game can be what it is. It doesn't matter what shoot game, as long as it's fun to play. Yes, there's achievements and things you want to get done in the game. I get that, but it's just the stuff that we chat about. Whether it's serious stuff, whether you're ribbing your mates when you're playing. You know, we've got a guy that we play with on COD who is a young lad, just came out of nowhere. He joined the server one time and we got chatting. And he felt comfortable enough to tell us that he was gay, that he felt comfortable that he could tell us. And so we rib with him, not at him, if that makes sense.
I understand that.
He's just as sassy with us as well. It's great. And it's just nice that you meet these random people that you end up playing and becoming friends with. And I love the way that gaming connects you with people like that. I think that's what a lot of people don't talk about so much. Gaming's nerdy and all this kind of stuff that comes with it. But just the fact that you do meet people when you do play online from all walks of life. And I think that's amazing. And I love playing multiplayer shooters for that alone, just because of the banter.
Yeah.
Sorry, go
on. When I went to the wrestling, there was I met up with one of the guys from the Romuck forum on there. Weirdly enough, was in the room next to us. That wasn't planned. Just like he was the only person. He was the only person I knew over there that like was going. So we met up with him. Anyway, when I got back, he was like, "Oh, do you want to?" I was saying that I played Battlefield 1. He said, I play with a bunch of guys from the forum all the time on Battlefield, and I put nearly every Friday night was just us. Like, I jumped on with them after that, and every Friday night it's like playing Battlefield 1 with them, and I put so many hours into that game, and then onto Battlefield 5. And like now, when I'm in a WhatsApp group with them, there's like 15 of us in there. Like, I've become friends with them, and I've met some of them, and
yes.
The thing that annoys me right now is they carried on playing the new Battlefield like up on the PS5,
and you know it's shit.
Well, no, it's got better apparently, but I don't have
not good enough.
I don't have PS Plus anymore.
Nobody does,
because it's just not worth it for me. I don't get on with them enough to make it worth it. Like if they're on Xbox, I'd be playing with them a lot more.
Yeah.
So, but I still keep in touch because we have the WhatsApp group and we talk about all kinds of other things now. It's not just the gaming, but I had a mint time and great memories with them on that. On sometimes staying up like 2-3 o'clock in the morning just playing Battlefield.
Oh, that's
great.
Yeah, we've had 3. It was an old forum that we used to be on. It's almost defunct now. The forum that we had is gone, and then we've got a Discord for it. But most of us post in WhatsApp, to be honest. But yeah, we have a little meet up once in a while. And again, they're all people that we didn't know. We met through the forum and then met in real life and just get on. You know, you have that online sort of character that you almost play in forums. And then when you actually meet these people in real life, it's almost a different environment, but you're still the same.
I had that experience when I went to when me and Stig went up to see Gadget and Pip, and she was like, "Why are you so quiet?" I'm like, "I'm not that loud in person."
You are a
couple of cocktails down, you were.
Yeah, you mentioned it, Diggy, when it was like, you were like, "You're different in person." I'm like, I am different. This is a persona.
Well, yeah, but we are almost a persona, a part of who we are. We are on the pod. Yeah, I get that. But I think that's really important. And the only other thing I wanted to cover quickly was just martial art movies. I grew up watching martial art movies, all the Jackie Chan stuff. I was such a big fan of all the sort of 70s, 80s stuff. And then the martial art movies then was shit. There wasn't anything that really grabbed my attention. I dropped off it for a while. And then you had things like Crouching Tiger was a massive spike for me. Got me back into a bit of wuxia for a while as well.
Very good.
And then Raid and stuff like that. But it's only recently things like John Wick and Scott Adkins, British martial artist who's in John Wick 4. He plays the fat guy. I've fallen back in love with action movies again. I've got a massive watch list to get through now. Just starting to find the fact that people
there is a
are still
resurgence,
making,
isn't there, in the genre?
Yeah, people are still making decent enough to watch.
Yeah.
The plot's irrespective, really. You're not really watching it.
Who gives a
You wanna
fuck?
see
Yeah, who gives a fuck?
decent action and done well is what's important. And stuntmen risking their lives doing mad, crazy shit. And yeah, there's a little
respect
resurgence
to 'em,
in
mate,
martial art
respect.
movies. So yeah,
Awesome.
they're my choices.
Awesome. Candy, getting your legs blown off at back of vans.
Well, yeah, that's part of it, but that's another lifetime ago. But actually, that is kind of like bouncing off. I shouldn't say bouncing off. But yeah, but it does kind of fit in with that because one of mine also is music and just being able to travel and stuff. So when I was probably 14, 15, I used to really like a band called Amen, which wasn't a huge band.
You weren't travelling around with them, were you?
Oh, I was. It's more...
Allegedly, guys, if anyone's listening.
Yeah, I don't have any little Casey Chaos babies. However, there used to be before the days of Discord, before the days of Facebook and everything, we used to use internet forums, which I'm sure you can all remember. And some of the friends that I made on there have ended up being my best friend, even now, some of my best friends in the whole world. And because I used to hang out with them and I used to hang out at these Amen shows, I got to, it really kind of...
Groupie.net.
No, I was too young at that point. The groupiness didn't come out for another 3-4 years at least. That was after the drugs. But yeah, because of that, it kind of projected me on my career for doing band merch and everything. So I met some of the guys that I toured with because they came from Amen. They went to another band who I ended up touring with for about 10 years. And that was just some of the most happy memories of being in my 20s and not really having any responsibilities and just...
It's great, isn't it?
Yeah, being able to travel around and waking up in a new city, in a new country every single evening. And you were with your best friends and you didn't make fuck all money, but it didn't matter.
Did you ever notice, were you ever in the creative bit of it? When we used to go around, we used to have people come around with us and ladies and gents and stuff. And... when we sat there writing new songs and they were just sat there listening oh my God, you've just written a new song in front of us. Did you ever get that experience?
Not that per se, but I was on the other side of it. So I was listening to singer of Slipknot rehearsing some of his new lyrics, which was, I was a worm before I was a man. And we were all sat in our dressing room worm before I was a man? That doesn't make any sense. And sure enough, it became one of their really big hits. So I've been on the other side of it. So that was cool. So yeah, music and growing up and another couple of bands like The Prodigy as well is a band that just transcends all genders, all the genres and all genders.
Yeah, and genders.
And genders.
Yeah.
And you sort of throughout the years and Slipknot as well. I've I jumped onto Slipknot when they first became big back when I was probably 14.
I'd honestly say, right, Prodigy are in top 10 bands of all time.
I absolutely agree with that. There's just nothing to not like.
Genre-defining fucking masterclass.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we lost an absolute legend.
Yeah, that one was super tough. But moving away from music, also, Biggie, as you were saying, my big online game was Elder Scrolls Online. Unfortunately, I don't...
No way.
Yeah, no, right. I've never mentioned it. However... I don't play it as much anymore, but when lockdown first started happening, I needed some kind of normality in my life, and I knew that I wanted to find an MMO, and I sort of dipped my toes in here and there. I tried Final Fantasy XIV. I ended up with ESO because it was just kind of familiar, with Skyrim and everything. Free, and the controls were somewhat familiar to me anyway. And yeah, just some of the friends that I ended just the support that we all had playing that game during pretty fucking tough times, to be fair. I know we didn't really talk about, but in the world of Tamriel, things didn't change when lockdown happened. Everything was still open. So just putting all your time into that, talking to friends like you would, if it doesn't matter if you're in the same room or in the same country. You can still talk to people, you can still hang out, you can all go to the pub on a Friday evening, have a pub quiz. And that's what we did. We carried on life just as if it was normal. And it was. And we've all met up in real life. And I don't know if you found this, but the funny thing about meeting up with online friends in real life for the first time is sometimes you kind of lose track of faces, like you lose track of whose face is who. And all it takes is for you to close your eyes and you can listen to everyone's voices and you're just back to knowing exactly who people are. But it's really incredible. I've met some really, really good friends and people that I would have never, like the people from walks of life that I would have just never had the opportunity to meet or hang out with, people that don't get out of the house much because they're disabled or they have various other problems or they're quite isolated themselves and they'll make the effort to meet up when there's a meetup. And we're all different people.
You're all geeky and nerdy, and you have that link, that common link that there's always something you can talk about, whether you talk about something happening in life or you want to talk about this game you've been playing,
Yeah.
It's very comfortable to chat with people.
It's really, really lovely. And I tried to describe it to sort of non-gamers, like it does sound nerdy. Yeah, obviously. It does sound nerdy and it does sound geeky, but the people you meet, it's just as valid a friendship. If not more so, because you're working together to, you have to work together as teams and everything and build relationships. Otherwise, you don't get anywhere in the game. And that's why these friendships work so well.
It's this shit that I hear all the time online where it's like, you can't develop a friendship online. You can't develop a romance online. Yes, you can.
Of course you can. That's one of the best. Yeah, that's one of the best.
Just as legitimate.
Especially, when you're not seeing somebody's face, you are making more of a bond with somebody's actual personality.
A pal of mine, he's been in a relationship with a woman he's never met for 5 years.
Yeah.
And they're seeing each other on videos and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? They just never had a chance because she's in Asia and he's here.
Yeah.
It's the same for us when we met I know a few of you have met previously. But
and we're now in a right relationship.
Oh,
it's nice that we all got on well enough.
As soon as I met Stig, I went up to him and gave him an hug.
And we got to see each other's ears for the first time.
You can always see my ears, my tiny little ears.
But
I remember when you mentioned that, Candy, about the ears.
It was just so odd seeing people's ears. I'm not used to people in everything.
I've become friends with people online who I confide in more than I do my friends that I went to school with.
Yeah.
So I talk to them
because they end up being fucking bigots usually.
Yeah.
Dickheads. Why were we friends?
Take the piss, don't they? So
yeah.
And
I agree. I think it's beautiful.
Yeah, and the final thing I was going to mention, this is probably like one of the favorite. Well, actually, it does involve him. It was going to E3 in 2019 because
getting arrested.
But reading video game magazines and everything from the age of about 12, 13 upwards, I'd hear about this mystical E3 and, E3 season would come round and finally they opened the floor to the public being able to go. And I was like, I'm going to do it this year. I've waited 25 odd years to do it. I'm just going to bite the bullet. I'm going to do it. I'm going to go by myself. I know people in LA. It's fine. I won't be stuck by myself and I can keep myself entertained and just go and see what it's about, finally experience it. And it was the most incredible week I think I've ever had. In particular, I think it was the day after I got there, actually, and it was the Bethesda conference because it's basically just like a lottery. Like, whoever goes, you say, I want to go to this conference, and it's just potluck whether they'll say, yeah, you can come, or you can't. I was lucky enough to get a ticket. So was Super Natty Cat and her partner Mo, who I didn't know until E3. So I sat to, so
you met them then?
I met them at E3. I know there were a couple of people from Wales coming. That's all I know because I was just on a...
I bet there were more than them two from Wales going.
I'm sure there was, but they were the only two from this... We were all part of this Facebook group and we just kind of mentioned it in passing. So the day of the Bethesda conference happens. It opens about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I got there around 10 to start queuing because that's me.
Wow.
I burnt the shit out of my arms. I burnt the shit out of my scalp. just sweltering hot. They finally open the doors, and they give you your ticket, your seat number, and you have about 3-4 hours to kill before the show starts. There's a free bar. There's multiple free bars. There's multiple open bars, all scattered all around, and it's maybe like this, maybe 5,000-6,000 seats. So I sit down finally, absolutely shithouse hammered, and I hear a voice, not one, but not one along. And it's a little Welsh voice. I'm like, you sound like you're from my neck of the woods.
Do you want an omelette?
That's what they said. Cheese on toast.
Yeah.
And it was
Cheese on toast.
And it was Super Natty Cat and her partner Mo. And we just got on from the moment we met like an absolute house on fire. So we spent sort of the rest of the week partially hanging out, but also doing our own thing. And E3 itself was great. So that night I managed to drink enough alcohol to approach Todd Howard and got my photo taken with him. And I was wearing a t-shirt saying "It just works" with his face on it.
It didn't go Sam Neill did it?
What's that?
Didn't go like Sam Neill, did it?
No, it did not go.
How tall is he?
5'5", 5'6", maybe. Push.
Stig's height.
5'6" on a good day.
Fuck off! I'm so higher than that.
You're not, mate. You're 5'5", pal.
5'8".
In heels.
Don't take
5'8".
Don't
5'8"
take
in your fucking stompers that you've got.
Don't take my inches off me. It's all I've got.
That's what all the boys say.
Every inch counts.
But yeah, I plucked up the courage to approach him because I was like, it's now or never. I'm never going to get this chance again. Just do it. And if he's an arsehole, he's an arsehole. He wasn't an arsehole. He was very polite in a probably what was a very embarrassing situation.
Because he was at work, mate.
Yeah, exactly.
That was his job.
It was fine. Yeah, he wasn't a dick, so that was fine. And yeah, the rest of the week was incredible, and just had such a good time. Just the games came secondary, but the people I met were just brilliant.
We should go to Gamescom, shouldn't we?
We should. I'd be up for going to Gamescom. It's probably way easy.
Cheaper as well.
Yeah,
a lot cheaper.
If we get a place between us, it'll be fine.
I liked Rest.
Rest were great. It was so intimate.
Yeah, that's mine, I think.
Awesome. Do we have any feedback?
Yes, we do. Stand by. I know that's my job today.
Clicky.
Right then, from Mike H.
Yep.
Mike H says, picture the scene. 13-year-old Mike has been playing Final Fantasy VII, trying to get past the Midgar Zolom for 3 days. And on that momentous fourth day, he lined up on the corner of the closest area that it can't get to and waited for it to go as far away as possible. And I ran across that pesky desert and made it to the other side just as the Zolom hit the edge and bounced away. One save later, and I genuinely leapt into the air and shouted, "Yes!" and fist pumped the air as I was sent to the chippy for tea. The odd occasion when shiny hinting Pokemon doesn't take weeks is also a good feeling.
It is.
Yep.
You know, he could have just got a Chocobo and escaped it, doesn't he?
Don't tell him that now. You don't ruin his happy moment.
Yeah, I'm just saying. But yeah, going to the chippy. Fucking hell, man, that's the moment. I still love that now.
You can't not be happy at the chippy.
God.
What
a place. Chippy.
What?
Went to Chippy.
Say that again.
You can't not be happy at the chippy.
I know what you're about to say.
Are you going to say you don't know what a chippy is, Biggie?
No.
No, I know what you're going to say.
I'm just confused by what she's saying.
It's because she doesn't have to. You don't have to get chips at the chippy. You don't have to get chips.
But actually,
sometimes I've gone and not got chips.
Chip shop chips, I don't mind because you have to
different. It's a different breed, isn't it?
Drench them in vinegar. Yeah, they're not chips. They're potatoes.
They're not crispy.
No, exactly. It's fine. Anyway, moving on. Best boy Kurt. Hi, MB crew. I absolutely love anything media related to do with football. I love football documentaries regardless of teams. I subscribe to 442 magazine and I read at least one book about football a month. It's also easy to consume and I'm just fascinated by the behind the scenes stuff I find out from it all. It brings me so much joy. Slightly related is the TV show Ted Lasso, which is just a delight to watch. I must admit I was initially down on it after the first 3 episodes as I just thought all the characters were too stereotypical. And I guess they still are, and there is so much stuff throughout the show that would never happen in real football. Yeah, of course. Like a dog saving a penalty. That was good, though.
Love that.
But I grew to love Ted and the rest of the team, and now it's one of my favourite sitcoms. Cheers, Kurt. It's just, it is absolute feel-good TV, isn't it, Ted Lasso?
Yeah.
I hate football, and It's just like
How can you hate football? It frustrates me now.
boring. No,
Yes,
it's just like having a hug, isn't it? Watching Ted Lasso.
It's not
You're
about
watching football as well.
Ted Lasso is not about football.
No,
It's not about football. It's about football world.
Because the
isn't
football
it?
in it is absolute bullshit.
yeah.
Dog shit. Literal dog shit. That's not how games are played.
No.
They have so many like stoppages where it's like, right, let's have a 10-minute chat of what you need to do next. Like, what?
Couldn't stop laughing at the final game.
Oh, it's atrocious.
Won't go into
It's
it. But
atrocious.
The best one ever is Escape to Victory when they break the goalkeeper's arm to allow Sylvester Stallone to play.
Yeah. Oh god,
Still makes me smile.
that film. That film's great. Yeah, is that the feedback?
That's the feedback.
Fantastic. No one's happier than us. So, as always, links to all our extracurricular activities are in the show notes and at modernescapism.co.uk. Next week, it's time for Modern Escapism 3.0. We've discussed what we are planning with this, but just in case you weren't listening, next week's episode will just be a Nexus episode. Okay? The week after will just be a feature episode. The week after that will just be a Nexus episode. You'll still get your Patron's Choice episode once in the month. You'll still get all your added stuff. Patrons still get a paywalled half hour, 45 minutes exclusive after the podcast. Everything's going to be gravy. Don't worry. We're just sick of ending the show at 12 o'clock every night. Can't do it anymore. It's red hot. But yes, that's going to start next week. And we don't know what it's going to be about the week after yet. We're not doing the monthly things anymore. It's just going to be, we're going to think of a feature. So if you are patrons, we will take your features on board as well.
yeah, I've got a few suggestions already. So
Absolutely.
I've had a few.
But yeah,
sent
next
through.
week's just going to be, you're still going to get the news every week, and it's going to be a Nexus, and then we're going home. It's going to be great. Well, we're going to do the green room and stuff, but it's going to be great. I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be a tighter show. You're going to be able to listen to it on your commutes. There's going to be less waffle. I think it's going to be fantastic. I'm looking forward to it. And Stig's mouthing something at me, and I don't know what he's mouthing at me.
Tell them about the Potter.
Oh, yeah. So Kenny Potter. The next episode, when's that dropping, Stig? Will it be dropped now?
No. It's July's for that, so that'll come out
July's.
10th of July.
Yeah, we have recorded the second episode of Kenny Potter. Now, as a podcaster, who's done many podcasts, I'm extremely proud of this one. I think it sounds great. It's edited fantastically there.
That's
Stig.
something that's I'm happy, like making me happy. Like I had a really good time, like chatting the first
Yeah.
2 episodes of this so far.
Yeah, it's good.
Seeing your reaction to certain things as well, and then like
It's a weird world. It's a weird world, and I'm enjoying my time. It's a bit like you're Too Fast, Too Curious, but less aggressive bald man screaming. More
Making me happy to
excited.
know
You're
Fast-
enjoying the movies by the sounds of it.
Fast X is out now. Biggie, get onto it.
Yeah. I am enjoying the movies. This is a great world to be in. But yeah, that's it's going to be a really fresh new July, to be honest, guys, and I'm looking forward to it. And I hope you as listeners are looking forward to it. Give us a chance. If you don't like the new format, if it doesn't work, we can always go back. We're just testing the water. We're trying to, because we've got mental health as well, and we can't keep doing these 3-hour epics. We just can't do it. It's killing us. It's absolutely killing us. And Gadget's had shits for 2 weeks. Poor lad.
That's the stress.
It's a stress. It's a stress.
Stress
yes.
of having to edit 6 hours of podcasting.
Exactly. Don't forget all the other stuff. Scotch Sheep's cooking on gas at the moment. I'm really enjoying myself doing Scotch Sheep. So if you've never listened to that, fucking get in, mate. It's fucking hilarious. I had a blast last week recording that. Absolute blast. So yeah, just please help us out. Consider becoming a patron. If you're not a patron, this is the end of the show. If you are, we'll see you in a minute. That's it. Happiness. We did it. We pretended to be happy for a full month.
I'm so happy.
I'm so fucking happy. Night. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Right.
Gadget.
Hang on 1 minute. Wait, before we start.
no.
Sorry, carry on.
We're just letting out a fart.
Yeah. Gadget will hear that.
I can't believe it.
So will all the listeners when he puts that in the.
I was just going to say, yeah, that's
at the
going
end.
through, isn't it?
You're disgusting.
It would have been worse if I'd hung on to it.